ज्ञानतिमिरञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। Hare Krishna. Okay, welcome everyone. So this is the part 2 of the revision which we are doing for the upcoming exam next week, 30th of July. So everyone knows, so this exam on 30th of July is next Sunday in Gopinath Temple, 2 to 5 p.m. So first 2 hours will be the written exam, and then the rest of the hour will be used for the shloka recitation, the 17 shlokas. So exact same format as we did last time. Same place in the temple. Come on time, 10-15 minutes early. We'll start sharp at 2 o'clock. And if someone happens to be late, somehow we have to adjust within 4 o'clock for the writing assignments. I think Ujjwala Mataji was asking about the exam format. Mataji is exactly same. So we'll have some fill in the blanks where you have to write 1 or 2 words, or you may have to write, 1 or 2 sentences for the questions. Some questions will be from assignment, some will be from the normal course, Mataji. But the format remains exactly same. You're not expected to write any essay or anything like that. And questions are also less than last time in this exam. But the time is exactly same. So basically, you have more time to write. So wherever possible, just write a nice explanation, whatever you know. But you can divide your time accordingly. Any other questions related to exam next week before we get into the revision mode?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Just one question I want to ask you.
Yes.
Is do you have to repeat the question when we answer it, or just answer is okay?
Just the answer. Just write answer 3A, 3B, like that, I don't want time wastage of question. There's no need. Just
okay.
Question 19, answer 19, whatever works for you. As far as I understand which answer this is, that's good enough.
Okay, thank you.
Just a simple writing. Yeah. Rupam Prabhu, you seem curious.
No, bro, no questions.
No questions. All good. Okay. Chalo, all good then. Let's start the revision. If you have more questions, obviously, you can ask me anytime offline. No problem at all. We still have 1 week. It's a very simple exam, to be honest. Assignments I have done for most of you, just a little bit left. I will try to respond back to your assignment copies. I have spoken to some of you offline, but I'll try to respond this week to others as well. So you will know. I'll not disclose the marks at this stage. Marks will come after the exam altogether. Most of you have done very nice assignments. That's all I can say. Some few improvements are there. So I've written a little note on the bottom of your assignments. You can have a read of those notes. If there is no note, that means it's all good. Tanya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, last time when we were discussing the correct answers, I think I didn't save my notes. So is it possible that for the purposes of exam, if you can send the best in class assignment so
Uh,
that I can just have a read?
okay, there is no such thing, Mataji. Every devotee has written in a different way, and I accept it as far as they touch the principle. And as I explained last class as well, many times some devotees have written it differently, but I said I have not deducted the marks because maybe I wasn't clear myself. So
Okay.
next time I would expect all those points to be covered. I think the recording is done by Sundar Gopal Prabhu for the last week. I think beginning 10-15 minutes.
Oh yes, I can. Yeah.
What's the expectation? But as I said in the class, I have not deducted the marks because of those aspects. I think the only one question which is prominent in my mind, question 22, if I'm not wrong, where you're supposed to write 6 aspects. Many devotees, again, out of confusion, have written 1 or 2 aspects only. And there I have deducted the marks. That's the only one common question which I think passed through everyone except, if I'm not wrong, Akhand Rasa Prabhuji. He got 3 marks out of 3. He has written very wonderful. Actually, he has written a whole essay on that question, which was very nice. He's written his full understanding all the 6 aspects, and he explained very well. And others may be there, I can't remember on top of my head, but most of them have written it incomplete, which is fine. As far as many times, actually, when we make mistake, that's better than we don't make a mistake, because when we make a mistake, we know this is the mistake and we remember all the time. Now, Raghi Mataji has just joined. I would love to say one thing about her assignment. Mataji has written one question. Can't remember the number. Just give me 1 second if I can look at the number.
प्रभु अच्छा किया या बुरा किया?
अभी पता चलेगा. There was one question, I don't have the number here, but where you have to write regarding demigods 3.10 to 10, 16, and there was 7:20 to 23 and 9:10 to something else. So some devotees have written very short summary in 1 paragraph or something. My expectation was you write 3.10, 2-line summary, 3.11, 3.13, 3.16, all of the verses so that your understanding gets represented. Raghi Mataji has done it wonderfully. Very simple she has written, but that was very nice actually to read through. So she's basically writing her understanding of each verse. The verse, the essay can go longer, that's okay. Again, I don't want 2,500 words there, but she has written like 2 lines on each verse which is asked, which was very nice.
Sorry,
So,
Prabhu, what question is that? Can that be displayed on the screen and like?
Definitely, Mataji, I have to look for it. That's all. Sure, it's in your assignment. I'll just tell in 1 second. I knew the number, but now I forgot.
And if Mataji is comfortable, maybe we can have a look at her example if she's comfortable.
As I said, you see here, Mataji, in this screen here. Can you see my screen? In page 43, you see there's a 3-line explanation of each verse, 9.9, 9.10, 921, 923. Like that, you are supposed to write for that particular essay. It's an open book. So you read the verse, you have your understanding, present it in 2 to 3 lines, exactly like this Mataji has written. So the format wise, this is what it is. And it's very simple, it's beautiful. Because it shows that she knows the content. Now, regarding the question, that was question number 3, which many of you have attempted. So what it said, and also one thing actually, thank you for reminding Priya Mataji. Every question you see in the beginning says, explain in your own words, explain in your own words, explain in your own words, every place. Now, some devotees, I don't want to name here, have gone to some website, which I can definitely find, but I haven't done that time wastage as yet. They have put the same diagram, same words from internet. I'm not expecting any fancy answers, honestly, at least in this class. We are not doing any competition here. We're just presenting our understanding. Questions very clearly saying, explain in your words. I don't want any internet diagram. I don't want any fancy languages. You read the answer, you will know it's not your own words. And there are a couple of devotees who have done it. My humble request, there is no need to impress anyone here. There's no need. I really like original answers. You write in your own words, very simple it can be. Read Prabhupada purports, read the translation. And if you copy the translation of Prabhupada or a part of purport, you can color code it differently to represent that's not my writing. And I love that actually. Don't have to count in your words. I love original things and simple things. So, MIH is saying, you can see it's not me, my particular opinion, saying in your own words, every question says that. There is no need to go on internet at all, actually. Just Bhagavad Gita, simple Bhagavad Gita, your assignments, your understanding, your notes. And if you write it, actually you will improve. The whole idea is improvement, not to write an essay for assignment. That's not the purpose at all. And I can clearly see where the internet copy is being done. Some people, and I can say that Gauranga Darshan Prabhu has a PDF file, this 20 meg. They have pasted exactly from the PDF without even changing the bullets. And I can logically prove it. I did not expect that. And I can tell you the question as well. Question number 10, 1155. Gauranga Darshan Prabhu has written a wonderful commentary. I also have that file. I've been referring to that file for last 10 years. So when you paste that same file in my assignment, I can clearly see that. Don't do that. There is no need to impress anyone here. Write in your own words. You can have your own bullets. There are 3 layers of bulleting there, which clearly represents it's a cut and paste from a PDF file. There's no need. You can copy, and as I said, copying Prabhupada purports is fine. You're trying to prove your point. Color coded, color in a blue, brown, whatever, and say Prabhupada has written this, and my understanding because of this logic is this. And that's fantastic, because tomorrow when you spread this knowledge, you need to speak your understanding to others. So be simple. And Prabhupada has written actually everything. There's no need to go on internet. Yeah, if you're writing for some competition, international competition, you can do all those things. There is no need. I remember in the last batch, I will not name, a wonderful student actually used to create her own diagrams from hands. She was very nice, and I love that. She would create by her own hand. So you can do that. Create your own diagram, your own understanding, scan it and put it there. But internet copy, you can clearly see it's not your diagram. So, and 3 devotees have pasted same diagram, and I have deducted the marks and have written the copy notes as well. So the diagram is correct. The wordings are correct, but I don't expect that you to copy from internet. There is no need. It's not given in Prabhupada book. Why would we do that? Yeah, you can, after reading the diagram, you can write in your own words. This is what it is. That is okay. So whole thing, make it as original as possible. That's my humble request, because it's for our own improvement. And yeah, original, simple is fantastic. There is no need to write fancy words. I've seen some copies, very fancy start. And you can clearly see it does not relate to the question at all. It's a part of an article from somewhere in the internet. They put it, very fancy wordings. But actually you're deducting your own marks because it's not your words. Many times I'm unable to understand what's the relation of this paragraph, the first paragraph, with the question itself. I can't understand. I have deducted the marks because it's not your writing. Look at the question, look at the Prabhupada purports, whatever your notes are there, if there are any, just write your own understanding as you are presenting this in a class to another 20 people. Start like that. And if you're not so fancy, it's absolutely fine. There's no need to be. Krishna loves originality. As it is perfectly fine. Now many devotees have done wonderful jobs. So I obviously am not generalizing this. Some devotees have done this cut and paste. There is no need. There is no need. But many devotees have done a lot of hard work and they have put their own words in simple black font. They just kept writing, and I love reading that. I love reading that. Madhuri Mataji has just joined. I can also say one thing. She has got the highest mark in her essays. Her essays were beautiful, very simple, a simple bullet, but she has written paragraphs of her understanding. You can see there's no cut, copy, paste. Her original writings are there, very good. So please do that next time. Your own understanding in 750 words, you can increase if you have to. No problem with that. Only copy Prabhupada translation or purport if you need to prove your point. That's absolutely fine. But just highlight it. Prabhupada says like that. My understanding because of this is that. And that's fine. Shodashtan Upanishad, Kathopanishad, the example Prabhupada has given, you can copy. That's no problem with that. And say it's from Prabhupada purport I have taken. So I don't Yeah, there's no need for any fancy things. Simple, your words. Amaichi is saying the present in your, otherwise there's no need for them to write this because they know students will be getting something else. So they're writing in your own words, in your own words, in your own words, because this is important. So just follow that. Ujjwala Sa Mataji or Akhanda Sa Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yeah,
Hare
just a
Krishna.
quick question. The one you are referring to, what Akhandas Prabhu wrote, was about that Param 6 points was Param Brahma, Param Dhamma. That answer?
Yes, Mataji, yes.
Okay.
He has written actually a sort of a short essay on that, and some people have given like a line. So it's so beautiful to read his understanding of those 6 points, and he has compared Jiva and Super Soul like that. One by one, he has compared in his own writing. Wonderful to read. Obviously, he took, I don't know, half an hour, 40 minutes to write that. But this, what's the point of saving our time just by pasting the synonyms from Bhagavad Gita? So there's no need to say. He has presented his understanding. It's very beautiful to write, to see that, to read it, that this person is, yeah, very genuinely writing his understanding. That's what I like that. I think Ujjwala Sa Mataji also, I can't remember, so you have also written a little bit paragraph there, which was nice. But I clearly remember Akhanda Sa Prabhu's answers on just mentioning that. Anyway, no need to get discouraged on that one. That was a question which was misunderstood. So that's fine. That's fine. Next time we can expand on that. I saw one more hand. I don't remember who was that. Sundar Gopal Prabhu, is it you?
Oh, that was just an appreciation. A
Or-
clapping hand
Oh, sorry, clapping hand.
for Madhuri Mataji.
For Madhuri Mataji. No, you all deserve a big clapping hand, which I'll give next week. There is
Madhuri Mataji.
yes, Priya Mataji.
Just saying Madhuri Mataji ki jai.
Madhuri Mataji ki jai. All Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. We all working. All I'm saying, we can improve. That's all I'm saying. Definitely, life is pretty busy, and you're putting your time in all this, which is definitely appreciated. But be as original as possible. Simplicity actually is not a problem. Radhanath Maharaj always says, no, finding simplicity in this current modern world is very difficult. Krishna likes simple things. So internet has lots of things. There is no need. You can read for your understanding. There is no problem. After that, you have done all the reading. Start writing. Just think, focus. What's the question is, what my understanding is, and just start writing. And that's what the expectation is. Prasannan Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare
Prabhu,
Krishna.
one of the essay type question, I heard a lecture, I took the point from there and wrote. Is that okay?
That's fine. Please write the reference. I think in the standard uni assignments also, just write the reference. So what I'm trying to say, Prabhuji, you can take the contents, say from Prabhupada purport or another Maharaj is speaking, just say this is his content and this is my content. That's all I'm saying. So that way you're distinguishing. You're not just putting, 1,500 words just by cut and paste from here and there. Because when you read that, you know exactly it's not coming from a logical one set of head. It is coming from multiple heads and it's been put together thinking people may not read this essay. We are trying, at least at this stage. So you can clearly write Niranjan, His Holiness Niranjan Maharaj said that, Radhanath Maharaj said that, and this is his paragraph. Okay, that's fine. But all these copying diagrams and extreme dramatic words in the beginning of the essay, no need. Actually, yeah, marks are going down, not coming up. And you spend a lot more time in researching these actual content in the internet rather than you can write in your own mind, because we are losing confidence that I can't write it, internet have better content. But that's not the expectation. MIT wants every student to have his or her own understanding and write. And when you write, your thoughts become clear and clear and clear, and slowly you'll become better. So try it. It's for your own development. Yeah. Priya Mataji or my Prabhu. I can't see my Prabhu. Invisible appearance. Hare Krishna.
Sorry, Prabhuji, what was that question that Ujjwala Sa Prabhu mentioned? What was that question in his
I think it
assignment?
was 22nd question, if I'm not wrong. I'll just scroll and tell you the right one. Not this. Okay, 22nd. So we discussed about this Mataji last week. which phrase in the textual proves the supreme is different from the individual soul. There are 6 components. Many of the students have written only one. Some have written two components because the word was phrase, not phrases.
Yeah.
I didn't read it like that, to be honest. When I read the question, I was like, yeah, but I think last class someone was mentioning it's a phrase, not phrases. Anyway, it doesn't matter. There are 6 components which we can mention, which are different, and they're 2 common. Okay. Any other questions from the last 3 chapters before we jump into chapter 11?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna,
Just a
Mataji.
small request, Prabhu, from next module, after each and every chapter, can we discuss the questions so that we can
Yeah.
give correct answers for the assignment?
Sure. I think we have done it in this class as well, but what we can do just
Like
after
before
each
submitting the
chapter.
assignment, Prabhu. Yes.
So after each chapter, we can just spend some time in the beginning of the class, definitely. So Rasanand Prabhuji, it's your task list Mataji is giving you. So after each chapter, whether it's in the middle of the class or in the class, we can quickly go through these questions and sort of, have a quick discussion. And then you can write in your own words. Yeah, that's a good idea. We can do that. Anyone else have anything else to add? Or not? If you don't agree with that, we can definitely discuss.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Just a
Hare
quick
Krishna.
question,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Mataji.
Prabhuji, like in questions in the assignment, sometimes we have written like Sanskrit word and the Hindi word as well, like water, apa, anala, vayu. So in the exam as well, you prefer having the Sanskrit and the Hindi words both together.
English.
Sorry, English words together, or
I would say so. Yeah, it's not too time consuming. For example, you can write Gyan. I'm just saying one word, and knowledge. So you will write either one anyway, but you can say Gyan equals to knowledge or something like that.
yes.
Yeah. There's enough time for this exam. As I said, questions are lesser than the previous exam. Time is exactly same. Hopefully, no one will be short of any timing. If you just write your answers in a normal speed, you should be able to cover in 2 hours easily.
How many
Just
questions, Prabhu?
you will know next week.
Sorry
Take
to,
it easy. Take it easy. Take it easy. Whatever comes, comes.
sorry, Prabhuji.
Yes. Yes, Priya, Mataji?
With the 6 components, is it possible you can explain a bit
Mataji, just listen to
better?
the recording from the previous class and
Oh,
it's all there. Yeah.
or is it from there? Okay.
Yeah, everything is there. And I've pasted my feedback in each copies as well. So that's also coming. But anyway, it's all in the video. So you can just watch it straight after this class. You'll know.
Okay.
We already spent a lot of time last week, so don't want to re-spend on the same topic. Anything else from anyone? All happy or sad faces? Be happy. You have done quite a long journey. It's just one thing to see whether you know or not know, but it's pretty straightforward exam. Okay. If you have anything else, please let me know. Otherwise, we'll just jump into chapter 11 revision. Now, chapter 11, as we all know, is a universal form. Anyone knows the chapter 10 name?
Opulences of the Supreme.
Opulence. What's the Sanskrit name? Anyone? Sanskrit Vidwan?
Vibhuti Yoga.
Vibhuti Yoga. Or 11th chapter in Sanskrit?
11th chapter.
Virata Rupa.
Virata Rupa. Huh? So Prabhupada translated as universal form. So basically, how many verses this chapter has? Anyone remembers? So side information is not going to come in your exam.
55.
Which is the longest chapter in Bhagavad Gita? You can unmute.
18.
Chapter
How many verses?
28.
78.
It's the second longest in Bhagavad Gita.
72 second.
Chapter 72.
Third is 11.
And third is 11. So it's the third longest chapter in Bhagavad Gita. It has quite a few verses. So I'll not go through obviously each verse, but let's start. Just looking at this first verse. Now this first verse is important. I'm not saying because it exists in the Rupa Prabhu's list. It's important because of one particular reason. Mad anugrahaya paramam guhyam adhyatma sangitam yat tvaya uktam vachastena mohoyam vigito mama. Anyone can remember this verse is resonating with another verse in Bhagavad Gita. Actually, at two places, same theme has been resonated. Okay, first you can tell me what's the theme here?
9.2 Rajavidya Rajaguviyam. So it's Guhyam mentioned here.
Okay, good catch, but there's more deeper here. Okay, your catch is fine. Rajavidya Rajaguyam 9.2. But what's the sort of thrust of this verse? Thrust of this verse. This is definitely a valid point.
My
It's not the
illusion is
thrust.
dispelled. My illusion is dispelled.
Arjuna has already got the understanding, and he is now confirmed. He knows that Krishna is the supreme, and but still he continues to question just for the sake of mankind.
That's true. Which word is used in this verse to confirm Arjun is fine? He doesn't have any doubt. Which word in this verse?
Moha gataha.
Mohoyam vigato mama. My moha is gone. Which other verse in Bhagavad Gita says the same thing?
Nasta moha smritir
1873.
Reference?
1873.
1873. Thank you, Rasanand Prabhuji and Jai Dharma Prabhuji. Nasto moha smritir labdha tattva sadat me achit. So same thing is mentioned here. Which another verse in Bhagavad Gita says similar thing? Not exact same words, but similar.
Prabhuji,
Is it 10 and 12?
Thank you, Julasa Mataji. 10.12. What's the verse? Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan. That's the one Priya Mataji we were discussing earlier. It's an important verse. So, yep, Toyakta Machastina. And one side point, very nice. Mad Anugrahaya Paramam. Mad Anugrahaya. Why are you speaking this knowledge? Mad Anugrahaya. So, you are having mercy on me. So, when we read Bhagavad Gita, we are getting the mercy of Krishna, and the result will be Mohoyam Vigitobama. Our illusion will be gone, and this is reconfirmed by Arjun himself at 3 places in Bhagavad Gita. So it's a very nice verse from that aspect. And he's saying, yeah, you are speaking very secret knowledge. Okay, next one. Yeah. So bhavapyahi bhutanam shruto vistarasho maya tattva kamal patraksha mahatmyam apicha avyayam. What is this verse saying? Anyone? So Mahatmyam Apichavya. So I have heard the glories, and Tvat Kamal Patraksha refers to your lotus eyes. And then he presents his request. Atmaram Parmeshwar Drashtum Ichhami Te Rupam Aishwaram Purushottama. There's another word used here is Purushottama, which is Purushottamans, also used in 15th chapter, which we read. Anyway, Drashtum Ichhami Te Rupam. Which Rupa Arjun wants to see of Krishna? Aishwarya Rupa. And that's where Krishna will sort of respond to Arjuna's request. Yeah, this is very nice one. Manne se yadi tat shakyam maya drashtum iti prabhu. What's the main theme here? What's the main word, Sanskrit word here? Very important for sadhakas. Manne se yadi tat shakyam. So sakyam is if you think I'm eligible to hear the knowledge. So many times we ask question, but teacher is not obliged to give you response if you are not eligible to hear the response. And I think we've discussed about Prabhupada. Someone was asking, I want to hear about Ras Lila. Prabhupada said, you may be eligible to hear about Ras Lila. I'm not eligible to speak about Ras Lila. Not Prabhupada was not eligible, but this person was not a proper recipient. So we have to present our humility to the teacher if he is authorized, that please clarify my doubts if you feel I'm eligible to hear. So many times people have this challenging attitude in asking questions. So questions can be answered, but attitude cannot be answered. So tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. So we have to ask question in a seva bhav. Seva bhav means I have a doubt, but if you want to clarify me if I'm eligible, please reveal it to me. Parikshit Maharaj has used this sort of etiquette many places in Srimad Bhagavatam. He's asking a question and he adds to it, Guru Maharaj, if you think I'm eligible, please explain to me. Many times he has presented this etiquette. And then Shukdev Goswami says, fantastic question, and he sort of responds. So this is a very nice etiquette which Arjun is presenting in front of Krishna for us. Priya Mataji, have a question or it's just from the previous conversation?
Prabhuji, when the last verse you were mentioning that Arjun says about being, I want to see that, no, not that one, the one that way he's a dispelled, he's a illusion. Is
One
gone.
question, sorry, verse 1.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I was thinking maybe I'm wrong, but like saying that my now that because of this confidential knowledge being given, like my illusion is is not there, like it's dispelled. So Krishna is also confirming, like because one who, but I mean that is he's saying like in 8.5 that if you remember me, that there is no doubt that you will attain me. So that, I mean, is there any link there or no?
So this is, see, the 8.5 is talking about what you remember at the time of death. This is the present situation of life. So we are all illusioned in different degrees. So when we receive the knowledge in a proper mood, then our illusion will go away. Many times we are receiving knowledge, all of us, but because our mood is not correct at this stage, we can't understand the knowledge. See, all the gurus, Prabhupada, they are revealing the same knowledge to all their students. Some understand, realize, act on it, and others don't. So it's not like Prabhupada is not revealing the knowledge. Prabhupada is revealing the knowledge. Other senior Vaishnava, they're all revealing the same knowledge. It's our wall around us which stops that knowledge to come to us. Prabhupada gives this example of Surya. Surya is distributing its rays to everyone. But if I shut down my curtains, my doors, the sunlight cannot come in because I have obstructed the sunlight myself to come in. Surya is not distinguishing. I will give sunlight to this person, but not to that person. So this is our current situation.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Mataji. 11.5, Krishna's response. So it's also Krishna's response to Arjuna in a way, yes, I will reveal it to you. And he gives a little sort of intro of the rupa which he is going to display to Arjuna. I'll not get inside this. I wanted to jump to some questions which are philosophically very nice. So obviously it's a description of Virat Rupa. So 3 people have described Virat Rupa. Who are they? Anyone can say? 3 people have described Virat Rupa.
Sanjay?
Sanjaya?
Thank you.
Arjuna.
Arjuna and Krishna. Krishna is also giving introductions. So if you look at these verses from 5 onwards, Supreme Personality of Godhead said, and there are like 4 verses there. So 5 to 8, 4 verses is the intro of the Rupa by himself, by Krishna himself. Then Sanjaya is describing, and then Arjun takes from 15 or something. Yeah. So Arjun describes from 15 onwards. There are 17 verses which Arjun is speaking. So I'll not go through this description of the Virata Rupa. So let's do some verses.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
There was, I don't know if I'm right or wrong. Correct me here if I'm wrong. There was Baribari. Also, his neck was cut. He said that I will only fight with the whoever is weak side. I will only fight with that. And then Krishna told him, what was his name?
Barbaric.
Barbaric. So
grandson.
Yeah. He also would have seen the Virat Rupa, would he?
Oh, okay. So who has seen the Virat Rupa? Now this question is quite fluid actually. Some opinions say only few people could see Virat Rupa. I'm talking about from the battlefield perspective. Now obviously Krishna says in the chapter, demigods are seeing the Virat Rupa, rishis are seeing, so they are from upper planetary system. Some description says, some opinions say that everyone on the battlefield could see the Virat Rupa. So now we don't have to waterline this opinion or that opinion because their same goes for Bhagavad Gita itself as well. If you see some and many of them, they say Bhagavad Gita was heard by how many? So they will say, okay, Hanumanji heard Bhagavad Gita, Arjun heard Bhagavad Gita, Sanjay heard Bhagavad Gita. From direct conversation perspective. Obviously, we are also hearing indirectly, but some say everyone was hearing it. So it's hard to watermark which opinions are right and not, and we don't have to, because it's not a philosophical difference. Many times it's some details given in this. I'll give you one more example which comes to my mind. Shabri is not mentioned in Valmiki Ramayana. Shabri's incident is not mentioned, but Tulsidas is mentioning it. Now, Chaitanya Prabhu was listening to him in one class, and he mentioned that, and he said, but it doesn't matter. Mentioning Shabri's pastime enhances the beauty of Lord's love for his devotees. So when it's enhancing the beauty of reciprocation with Lord and the devotee, we can accept it because there's no philosophical difference there. But if it's not, we don't accept it. Many pastimes are not described by Valmiki ji in his Ramayana, and many pastimes you hear from others. Like Kaikai already knew about the verse, and Ram requested Kaikai, can you please ask these two bones? There are many versions like that, but Chaitanya Prabhu does not agree with those things. He says Valmiki Ramayana does not mention those things. So why I'm giving that example? So anytime if something enhances the beauty of bhakti and increases the reciprocation between you and the Lord, we can accept it because it's not misaligned with the philosophy. The rest is all detail. Who saw 2 people, 3 people, 5 people? Yeah. Now, in my understanding, Barbaric has not described about Virata Rupa. In my understanding, I have not heard it. Now, he did mention about he has seen the whole Mahabharata, and he said, I only see Sudarshan Chakra was killing everyone, blah, blah. He has not mentioned anything. So we don't have to judge, yes, he has seen or he has not seen. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't sort of help us in any way advancing in our Krishna consciousness. And I don't want to judge that as well, to be very honest. But I have not heard or read that Barbaric saw Virata Rupa. Because demigods are mentioned, rishis are mentioned from upper planetary system because they are qualified to see. But on the battlefield, who exactly, hard to say. And it, in one sense, actually, it doesn't matter. I'm not sure whether it satisfies your query. Okay.
All good, Prabhuji. Thank
all
you.
good. Okay. Hopefully. Okay, Sundar Gopal, Prabhuji or Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, just one thing comes to mind when you say more than one person could have seen that in the battlefield, Virat Rupas. Then Prabhuji, Krishna gave Dividrishti only to Arjuna, and we know Sanjay got the Dividrishti from Vyasadeva.
Yep.
But
good point.
Who else could see it if I mean they needed, they could not see it with the normal eyes, right?
Yes. So Prabhu, is our logical inference, right? Now you can say Lord Shiva was not given extra eyes, rishis were not given extra eyes, demigods were not given extra eyes, right?
They were
But
not present at the battlefield, Prabhu. They were looking at from the.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I'm saying, there are many logical inferences which we can make, but my question is why to make it? I'm mostly just trying to hear something from authority and present it like that.
Sure.
So logical inference, what you're saying may sound correct, but I'm saying we don't need to do that. The Shastra is very pure, and our conditioned mind may do some mistakes. So we don't need to do that. And if you don't know, be clear about it. And I'm being open here because I don't want to judge yes or no, Barbaric saw or Barbaric didn't see, because it doesn't really matter to me, to be honest. But Barbaric did say one very nice thing. I saw Krishna winning the game. Krishna was the man of the match, not Arjun, not Bhima. That's actually philosophical point. That's beautiful point. He is glorifying Krishna, and he's saying all of you were really nimitta matra. Not only Krishna said before the Bhagavad Gita, before the battle, even after that he said that you were nimitta matra, and that's a very nice point. So I want to be just stuck to what I've heard or read from the authority. Logical inferences, from many times our logic may be wrong. Okay, Ujjwala Mataji or Akhandasa Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yeah, in verse 22, we were talking about how different beings they saw the Vishwarupa. So there were demigods, Lord Brahma, Shiva, and the perfected beings and all that. But in this 22 verse, it also says the Asuras saw it. So I'm just a bit puzzled. How come Asuras had the qualification to see the Vishwarupa?
Yeah, but now again, just read that. Where is word Yaksh Asura? So now one thing we have to understand again, it's not a principal question, it's a detailed question. Which Asura, right? It may be Bali Maharaj saw it, for example. So it does not say every single Asura. Now, if you read in Padma Purana, one of the definition of Asura is whoever is not a devotee of Vishnu, he's Asura. There's a definition in Padma Purana. So we very hard to watermark these things or limit these things. Now it may be the leader of the Asuras, for example, I'm just saying, and again, it's my complete guess, say Bali Maharaj saw it. So we cannot say all the soldiers in the army of Bali Maharaj also saw it. We cannot say that. So when we say Asuras saw it, we can say the leader saw it. Like if Prime Minister Narendra Modi, for example, is being notified, they will say, India know about it. Now, India know about it does not mean every single Indian knows about it. But the authority is being notified. So we can say in one word, okay, India know about it. Now, a person working in a village doesn't even know who is the prime minister, what to speak of knowing the other things. One Maharaj, Bhakti Vishwambar Madhav Maharaj, was very beautifully explaining in one class, when India got independence, one British man went to a villager and said, now you are independent, Swaraj mil gaya. He said in Hindi, he speaks Hindi as well. He's American bodied Maharaj, but he speaks very fluent Hindi. So he said, Swaraj mil gaya. This British person said to this villager, and the villager responded, what is Swaraj? He doesn't even know what does it mean by Swaraj. He is happy working in his village, but Swaraj mil gaya, India got independent. You will expect every single person to know our king has changed. But this person says, what is Swaraj? And Maharaj was basically saying, people who are involved in transcendence, they may not even care about the details of this word, and that's absolutely fine. You don't need to, know every single detail what's happening in the world. My Guru Maharaj, when he arrived last year to Vrindavan in his final days, and he said, the first thing I did in Vrindavan, I deleted all the news app from my phone. Why I need to know any other news in the world anymore? He deleted all the apps. He said, I don't need it. And if it's very important, devotees will let me know. And I follow up to an extent this one. Not that I don't have an app, but I know some pop-ups come sometime, I have a look, because why I need to know. And if it's very important, I'm sure, some devotees from here and there in a program, post-program, in journey, in the car, they will let me know, Prabhu, this is on now. I was going for a program and this devotee told me, now it's a corona and you can't go. I said, okay. Till that time, honestly, till 5 o'clock, I didn't know there is no program. And that's fine. I didn't travel, obviously, on that day. So it's fine. So Asura, you cannot say how every single Asura was eligible. They saw it or they don't. So maybe the leaders of Asura saw it. Leaders of Yaksha, which is Kuber. Kuber is a devotee of Lord. Now you cannot say every single Yaksha in their community saw the Virat Rupa. Hard to say that. Is that
Thank
okay?
you. Yeah.
Shastra actually is quite complex in one sense. But Chaitanya Prabhu always says, take the principle which enhances your Krishna consciousness. Rest is all detail. That you may know, you may not know. It doesn't really matter. Okay, let's move forward to 26, 27. Just one second. Actually, it's 28 which I wanted to go. Yes, 28.
Sorry, Prabhu.
Okay, yes,
Prabhu, if that question comes, what should we write, Prabhu? Demigods and all the people in the outer space?
Sorry, again.
No, the question, Virat Rupa, who watched this Virat Rupa?
What is Virat Rupa? Okay. So you're asking who saw the Virat Rupa, is that all? Demigods?
Yeah, that's what we are discussing, Prabhu, like demigods from the outer space.
Yeah. So whatever you see in the verse, Prabhuji, that's what is expected. So if you look at that verse which we're discussing, Rudra Aditya Vasvohi Sadhya Vishwe Ashwino Marutas Chosambasa, which is Pitaras basically, Gandharv Yakshasur Siddha Sangha. You don't need to explain this, which exact Asura saw it. It's not explained in the verse.
Okay.
So we expect literally as it is. You read, and if the reference is, you're very clear about a reference, write it. Otherwise, it's not. And as I said, you're not supposed to write essays in the exam. You just have to write exact what is being asked, explain in 1 or 2 lines. That's about it. That's good enough. Is that okay, Prabhu? So you can write Asura saw, and that's absolutely right answer. Yaksha saw, absolutely right answer. But barbaric saw or no, I can't write it, to be very honest. I've not heard it. I I don't want to make any logical inference that it makes sense or it doesn't, because my mind is conditioned, it will make mistake. If His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj, for example, comes and says, Barbaric, so I'm like, thank you, Maharaj. If he says Barbaric didn't say, I'm like, thank you, Maharaj. So one incident, I'll just add Jami of Radhanath Maharaj, which I just remembered. One time Maharaj in Chapati temple was listening one of his own disciples' class, and there's like 150 people in the class. The disciple was giving a class on some sort of Shaktyavesh avatar or something like that. And this incident I heard, if I'm not wrong, in Chaitanya Charan Prabhu's class. So he was giving reference of Radhanath Maharaj, which is very important for us. So this person, whoever was speaking, was relatively new person, but imagine Maharaj sitting in Bhagavatam class and listening to his own new disciple. Huh? So anyway, that was his roster done, and Maharaj was sitting right in front of him. You can imagine the person's situation, mental situation. So he gave class. At the end of the class, one person came and complained to His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj. And what was his complaint? This person says, I can't remember the exact name, to be very honest. And even Maharaj didn't mind this person. So this person who was complaining to Maharaj said, the example which the speaker gave was incorrect. He said, this is Shaktya Veshavtar. It was not Shaktya Veshavtar. It was, Leela Veshavtar or something like that. And Maharaj said, that's detail. It doesn't matter. Huh? It's just detail. A person said, instead of Shaktya Veshavtar, some other avatar name. Huh? Maharaj said, it's okay. But principle was correct. I liked his class. That's what Maharaj said after the class. Huh? So he was not like out of philosophy speaking something nonsense. No, Maharaj said that's detail. Even Maharaj sort of never bothered about that thing. But this person was noting down what all mistakes this speaker is making. And maybe he wanted to get the glory of Maharaj. Oh, Prabhu, you know very well. But Maharaj said, it doesn't matter. That's all detail. But principally, he spoke very well. That's what Maharaj said. So I'm just sharing this experience of His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj. Yes, Shyamati Mataji.
Prabhu, I was listening to Amok Leela Prabhu's lecture. So that's where he was speaking about in this verse. So that's why I was wanted to confirm.
Okay, so did he say yes or no?
Yes, he said.
He saw it.
He said that he was given an example that that's where I got that the story of Barbaric.
Okay.
Yeah, he was saying, yeah.
I'm not sure whether he said yes or no. Barbaric saw it or he didn't see it. So
he saw it. Yeah.
He saw it. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. So that's why I wanted to reconfirm.
Okay.
Like,
and I'm open about it. I have not heard.
Some places that Barbaric has seen that.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm happy
to add in here something.
I'll just finish Shyamati Mataji's comment. So Shyamati Mataji, as I said earlier as well, in my knowledge, I have not heard, but my knowledge is extremely limited. So if another authority is saying he saw it, take it as he saw it. That's all I would say. Mohit Prabhuji, you said something earlier.
Simple, just some places it said that Barbaric has seen that without Rupa. It's mentioned in some lectures.
Perfect. I'm more than happy to get this piece of information. Sakhi Radhika Mataji.
Prabhu Radha Gopinath Prabhu explains these kind of scenarios. He says that there are different ways to understand these situations. So there is Lok Katha and there is Katha from the books, from the scriptures, from Puranas. So the Lok Katha is not written somewhere. It's like being told by the local people. So we take that also because if they are contributing to the glories of the Lord, if they are contributing to the principles, which is the same, so that's what we take it from them. But when it comes to quoting in like on that platform, we don't generally do it. We do it in a smaller group because the other outside party can ask us, where is the source of it. So when we talk about the authentic source, and that's what Bhakti Shastri is all about, so we don't mention it. But otherwise, for Lok Katha, if it is promoting Krishna consciousness, we can definitely go through it.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. In the similar incident, I quoted about Shabri. Shabri is not mentioned in Valmiki Ramayana, and we in ISKCON only actually follow Valmiki Ramayana. But because it's enhancing the devotion of a devotee and Lord's reciprocation, so we take it. We talk about Shabri, no problem. But it's one of those, you can say, a Loka Katha instead of given in Valmiki Ramayana. Now, why he did not mention, we can't say that. What was going on is not that he didn't know, we can't say that, but why he did not present it in the scripture, he may have a valid reason. So we don't have to go inside that. Okay, Manmohan Prabhuji or Mataji.
Krishna Prabhu, just
Hare
wanted to add, that discussion has come up. It may be that they only saw the partial form of the Lord because they didn't have the divine eyes, which Arjuna was given. So it might be again, I'm just saying, adding to it.
Yeah, and that's why I was saying we don't have to make any logical inference. It makes sense, but we don't need to do that. Because our logic can be contaminated, because we are not pure as yet. So, and it's fine at the end of the day. These are all details. If one piece of information comes from authority, say Barbaric saw it, I'm just saying, very nice. So if Barbaric didn't see, for example, or he saw only partial, it actually, philosophy-wise, it doesn't make any difference. He's a devotee, definitely. He's a very great devotee of the Lord. He gave his head and he was given this opportunity by Krishna himself to see the whole battle. So he's a great devotee. So we definitely appreciate from that perspective. But exact details, hard to find out. Okay, let's move forward. Just for the information, we're not going to ask in Bhakti Shastri exam module 2, did Barbaric see or not? I can definitely assure you this is not a question. Question is only based on philosophy. Rest is all detail. And Dasanand Prabhuji asked what we would write. So Prabhuji, simple answer is whatever is written in this 1122, just write Asura saw it. And if I ask you back, Prabhuji, can you mention which Asura? You can ask me back. Prabhuji is not mentioned in 1122 Hemanga Chaitanya. Don't ask me. I'll be happy to hear that answer. It's not mentioned in Prabhupada's purport. It's not in Krishna's Sanskrit or English. And I don't know. And that will be considered as the best answer. Now, Lok Geet, that is all detail. Okay, let's move forward to our philosophical discussion.
Prabhu, in the previous one, after who are the sadhyas and vive?
Siddhas. The Siddha, Charan, Gandharvas, they're different sub-demigod species, you can say. They're not demigod, but they are very powerful beings, definitely higher than Manushas. So Siddhas are beings, they're like Gandharvas. They're a jati, celestial beings, yeah. They have Ashtasiddhis by birth. So like they can fly in the sky and they can become smaller than the smallest and all this. They have the Siddhis by their good karma. Okay. Everyone wants to know the detail. We haven't even discussed one philosophical point yet. Okay, let's move forward. 1128. Yatha Nadina Bhavavam Vega. Anyone remembers the philosophical point here? I'm sure you all know that. What's mentioned here in this verse? Yes, anyone?
The rivers and the moths, the compared.
Thank you. Can you please explain, Prabhuji?
The rivers actually, when they flow and meet the sea, they actually do good while they are on the way, merging into the sea, because they provide rich soil to the farming, etc. And when they meet the sea, they also carry the aquatics, so they still live in the sea, so they're not destroyed. As opposed to that, the moths are compared to the envious non-devotees, which the moths actually get attracted to the light and they rush and they get destroyed by themselves. Similarly, those non-devotees who are envious of the Lord, they meet a very tragic end, and while they are living, they don't do any good to anyone, and when they are dead, they are also not remembered. But the devotees are, when they are living, they do good to others by preaching Krishna consciousness, and when they pass away, they continue their journey as a change of service in the Goloka Vrindavan.
Oh, very nice, Prabhuji. Very nice summarization of 1128 and 29. So that's why we should live a life like a nadi, like a river, rather than a moth getting attracted to all these temptations around. Okay, so very good. Let's see what other verses philosophically wise. Okay, definitely 32. Okay, I'll start from 32. What is the important word here? You can all read and then let me know. a few important things. Kalos viloka shekut prabhato. So what's the important word here? Kalos me. So this is a very famous reference which you will hear in many lectures, that Krishna is saying, I am Kal, I am time. And what's my purpose? So Arjuna asked two questions in 30th or 31st verse. So Krishna is responding both of the questions of Arjuna in one line. I am Kal, time I am, and I'm here to destroy the Loka. And that's one. And Ritepi Twam na bhavishyanti sarve. Anyone remembers this line? Ritepi Twam. Ritepi means except you, na bhavishyami sarve. Basically, what this line is saying, everyone will be destroyed in the battlefield except 11 people. And I don't want to name them. We all know that. Okay. And then the next verse comes, one of the most famous verses of Bhagavad Gita, 11:33. And the most important line, Nimitta Matram Bhavsavisachi. Can anyone expand on this one? Maybe not Akhandasa Prabhu, someone else. Sorry, I excluded you, Prabhu, so that we all can participate. Ujjwala Mataji is welcome, if she likes.
Prabhu, can I say, Nimitta
Please.
So what Krishna is trying to tell here is that you just be the instrument to complete the action. The action's already been done. You just be the instrument to kind of display it, maybe, if that's okay to say.
Yep. Some more to it. That's definitely correct. Some more expansion of it.
Actually, Arjuna is addressed as Sabyasachi, which is he's ambidextrous. So there are two understanding to this. That one, Krishna is applauding the skill of Arjuna, but at the same time he's also saying that, oh, you're ambidextrous, but actually you are nothing, because everything is happening by my will and desire. So you just be an instrument and participate and do your duty, prescribed duty, which is he is a Kshatriya, so you should fight.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. Very nice. So when Krishna is saying Nimit Matram, so you should not say, oh, what happens to my skill sets? I have different skills. So how do I use it? So Krishna actually acknowledges. So Krishna is not saying, oh, just follow my order. Don't ask any questions. Nothing like that. He's saying Nimit Matram, and then he respects Arjuna. And at the same time, as Mataji was saying, he's saying, although you are super duper expert archer, he's like #1 archer in the world, is still actually, the main cause is I've already done it. Now, is it like a match fixing where players are paid to underperform or perform in a particular way? Is it like that? Arjun has fed a lot of sweets to Krishna, and Krishna says, "ठीक है, काम हो गया." If this challenge comes to you, what will be your response on that?
Sorry, Prabhu, can I add something?
Yes,
like Krishna is the one who is giving strength and the remembrance or whatever it is. But if Krishna decides, he can just take it away even a minute. So here we can say that Arjuna has got so many skills, but if Krishna would have decided, he would have just taken away all the skills within a minute. So that's why he may be saying that I'm only giving you everything and you're just an instrument to perform the things on behalf of me.
Okay.
Can I
And
Can I
Arjuna
also
has to act as per his dharma, Prabhu.
Okay.
As long as Arjuna is acting as per his dharma, he needs to do his duties, and then the results or whatever may be the outcome, that will be based on what Krishna wants.
Yes, that's
Or
right.
it is already, that is not in our hands. It is just the cause, nimitta matram again.
Okay, we are very close to the correct understanding. Rupa Prabhu, if you want to say something, or it's a question?
Yes, no, same. Just one more point on top of what everyone has added. One thing which I recall on this is, Prabhu, that we discussed that why we should become an instrument at the hands of God, and that is because since Krishna is unlimited, even if our skill sets are limited, they have boundaries. We can still do things which is beyond our own imagination. And one of the examples we discussed on this was Prabhupada.
Yeah.
When Prabhupada started ISKCON movement, after ISKCON was fully established, he did mention that I never expected this much of success. So all I did was just start with this and let Krishna take over the success, or take over the journey from there. So one of the learnings for us is, uh, as Prabhupada says, is that we should not be lazy in doing things. We should be, even though if we think that this is, this is not going to work, or this is not going to fly, it's beyond our strength, our capacity, our stamina, we should still give it a go, give it an attempt. As Krishna is with us, it will have a positive end. So, and then also we will learn during the journey. So Krishna will teach us not only new skills but also humility.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. And Prabhupada, I think also mentioned, thank you for reminding me, that after this statement, Arjun was not drinking bhang. Prabhupada said that. Krishna, you have already done it. Now, what's the point of me doing anything? Let me just sit aside and drink bhang. Prabhupada said Arjun was not doing that. Huh? As Rupam Prabhu mentioned, he was very hard working. He put his best in the battle. Best his battle. He had to sacrifice his own son as well. So even everything is done by Krishna, which Krishna is mentioning it, he did his best. So as a devotee, whatever our capacities are and whatever little service we get from our superiors, we should try our best. That may not be the best. We should try our best, and Krishna is pleased with that, because Krishna is the owner of that results which he wants to give. And as Prabhu mentioned, no, Prabhupada himself said, he said initially, or sometime he said, if I could make one soul Krishna consciousness, my Guru Maharaj mission will be successful. That was like a bare minimum Prabhupada had in his mind. If one devotee can come up from West, so my mission, my Guru Maharaj order will be fulfilled. But later he got so much success. And this is why if we use ourselves in Krishna's supervision, the thing which we can do, we are also not aware of that, huh? Because Krishna can use us as a medium to do so many nice things. Okay, we have three more hands. Prasanna and Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I mean, another point of view of this Nimitta Matram, what I was thinking is, Krishna has this plans. So we have to act in his plans. And he has already done, the previous words we are saying that all the Duryodhana, everyone goes in his mouth. So he's already killed, and he wants us to act, or Arjuna to act, just to take the credit as a devotee.
True. So we just have to become the part of the game. Don't try to, do anything great. As much as, again, Prabhupada example, his guru ordered, and Prabhupada was just trying to fulfill that order, and all the wonderful things came to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhuji. Sundar Gopal.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, Nimitta Matra, what understanding is that basically most of the time we feel that, we are the one who are doing things and we have so much capacity. But over here, Nimitta Matra means Krishna is the source of everything, and everything is being done by the will of Krishna only. We are just an instrument. So this is basically Nimitta Matra, and we are thinking that we are doing it we are just endeavoring. But actually the actual result is being done by Krishna only.
Yep.
So that's what a Nimitta Matra means.
Yeah, thank you. Because Krishna is the controller of everything. In Hindi में कहते हैं ना, उनकी मर्जी के बिना एक पत्ता भी नहीं हिलता है. Not even a blade of grass moves without the will of the Lord. So Chaitanya Prabhu says on that, it's not always the will, it's a sanction. So all the bad things happening in the world, you cannot say it's the will of the Lord, but it's a sanction of the Lord. We are living in this, material world, so things will go wrong. But Krishna somehow that sanctions that so that we can play the role of God, which we want to. Somewhere Prabhupada said, we want to play God. Play God means I want to be God. I want to control everyone. I want to be the center of attraction of everyone. So Krishna gives a field where you can be a fake God in a very limited terms, obviously, fake God. And some are like Hitler type God, some are Hiranyakashipu type God, some are single God like us. Sripala Prabhu was saying in one class, I remember, he said, we think we are the God of at least this house. I run this house. Huh? I work, I run this house, so everything in the house must be as per my desire and my instruction. Huh? So Prabhu was saying, I'm the God at least for this 2-bedroom unit or a house or something like that. So our mentality still remains. It's still, we may not be Hiranyakashipu like that, but it's still, ye mera hai. This apartment, this house, this family, this wealth, this position, Mere hain, so the result has to come as per me. And that's why we get so many frustrations. Thank you, Mataji. Sakhi Radhika Mataji.
Prabhu, I just wanted to tell, I heard this from Radha Maharaj. He very nicely explains about what is Nimitta Matram means.
Yes.
In a very layman language, I really thought we could like keep it. It was very heart-striking. Like I want to do that, I felt. He said that when a building is made, everybody says, what an architect, like what beautifully this building has been made. This person has done such a great job. And that building is made with a tool. So nobody says what a tool you used to make this, tools, with the different tools the buildings are made. So Maharaj says everybody remembers the architect, and the devotee should try to become that tool in the hands of other senior devotees, and that ways you will become an instrument. That's what he's trying to say. I'm not telling it nicely the way Maharaj said,
That's fine.
but he's trying to say that then you don't get the credit, but you do the hard work. Like the tool, without the tool, the building cannot be made. But it is very important for us to seek to become that tool in the hands of the devotees, and that's when we are submissive and we can be humble throughout.
Yes, very nice. Actual tool Maharaj is appreciating, which is nice. No one sort of bothers about those things. We just appreciate the man, what a man can do. I think I heard one example in Jiva Goswami Satsang Darbars. Very nice example. He said one woodcutter went to the forest and he was cutting wood through an axe. Now, who cut the wood? That's the question. The woodcutter cut the wood, but woodcutter cannot cut the wood. The axe has to be, the instrument has to be there, right? Woodcutter cannot use his hand to cut the wood. But he's saying axe cannot act independently because woodcutter has to be there. Huh? So the question remains, who cut the wood? So all these philosophical questions, we have to deeply think about it. So it's a combination. It's a combination. But brain has to be a woodcutter. If the woodcutter does not plan like that, X cannot do anything. But when woodcutter uses his brain, like his intelligence, his knowledge, he uses the X in a certain angle with a certain force, then the X acts. Otherwise, X cannot act independently. So God is the brain, God is making the X sharp, God is putting the X in a particular angle, and then the action happens. And we stupidly say, if we are the X, I cut the wood, I cut the wood, I cut the wood. Arey bhai, behind you, who's putting everything, the whole infrastructure, we forget that God. I think Chaitanya Prabhu says elsewhere, he says, God, one who gives, gives, gives and forgives. And man gets, and forgets. So we get so much from God and we forget the God. But God is like, bacche hain, khelne do. Kids are playing. So parents don't want glorification, but it's kids' duty to at least acknowledge, appreciate. Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Papa, for giving me so much nice facility. Okay, Ujjwala Mataji or Prabhuji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yeah, just one small addition about this Nimitta Matra Bhava. There are atheistic people who think that things happen by chance or accidentally they happen. So this particular phrase also, it will help people understand that everything is happening by the desire of the Lord and not accidentally.
Yeah, and he has set up a goal already of this material world. Already the goal is set up. Now again, the details will vary. Which jiva will eat which sabji today and what sabji tomorrow. That's all detail. He has already set up this jail. And what's the purpose of jail? To reform people. To reform people. So one analogy. Again, there are many analogies given, but one analogy is, so he has already set up the whole thing, the whole karmic cycle, what will be the destination if you do this, what will happen, when it will happen. Everything has been, the whole infrastructure has been ready, made by Krishna, and we are just inside as a tool playing little games, and we forget the bigger picture. Okay, nice. It was a nice discussion of Nimitta Matra. Everyone has so much nice things to add, which is good. So we also need to become Bhavya Sabyasachi. Krishna acknowledges it, but we should never become proud of it, because Even if we are super expert, we cannot achieve anything without God's sanction. We cannot. So we are a very intelligent person. Unless God sanctions it, we cannot achieve it. And if God sanctions, then even if we don't have so many skills, it doesn't matter. God can use us as an instrument to do wonderful things. Okay, this is fine. This is all sort of detailed thing. I just wanted to pick up some last verses, which are very nice. Okay, so Arjun gives 3 analogies here. So 11, 41 and 42, when Arjun comes to know, he's asking for forgiveness, that whatever I have behaved with you in Vihar, Shaya, Sayashan, Bhojanesu, so while playing with you, while sort of resting with you, while having prasadam with you, I've made mistakes, so please forgive me. And then he gives 3 analogies, which are very important. When I say it's important in my understanding from a sadhaka's perspective, because we are all sadhakas, we are doing some sadhana. So he gives 3 examples. Sorry, not in this one, it's the next one. I just wanted to get that. Yeah, 1144. He gives 3 analogies why you should forgive me, why Krishna should forgive us. So he gives 3 analogies. Piteva putrasya sakheva sakhyuhu priyaha priyaya arhasi deva sodham. So he's saying, please forgive me. Why? Because sometimes putra, a son or a daughter, does some silly mistakes, but father does not take too much offense of that. Oh, it's my little son, he has done a mistake, that's all right. Sakheva sakhyu, in friends sometimes some joking happens, sometimes a friend may make a sarcastic remark on the other friend, and it's all valid, and there is a rasa. That's why it's called sakhya rasa. And the other friend does not take offense of that. And priyaya, priyaya, between husband, wife, and sometimes some exchanges may happen, but the other party looks at it, the intention was okay. So because I have this loving relationship with you, tasmat praname pranidhayakaya prasadayatvam aham ishamidhyam. So I have this loving relationship with you, as these 3 relationships are also based on love. So whatever I have done offense to you, please forgive me. So we should remember that many times we take many offenses. We should remember these 3 analogies. Even Shastra is saying amongst in these 3 relationships, obviously they're based on truthfulness and integrity. Other details doesn't matter. What words came out in this situation? Uska aaj mood kharab tha. He said something, she said something because they were upset. That's fine. As far as the integrity and truthfulness is maintained in the relationship, details doesn't matter. Many times we complain about details. It doesn't matter. The principle should be intact. That's the meaning. If principle is broken, then there is some questions there. Okay, let's move forward to some. Okay, I can take this 51. It's a nice verse. I'll just close others. It's too much. Okay, 51. Tasvedam idam manusham rupam tam somyam janardana. So what Arjun is requesting here, please show me your Somya Rupa. Somya Rupa refers to anyone? Vinay Prabhu is saying
200
form. 200 Shyam Sundar form. Why 200 form, not Vishnu form?
Vishnu form official.
Official. Thank you, Vinay Prabhuji. It's very official. We can't have a friendship. And the example given by Sanatan Goswami in Brihad Bhagavatamrit, when Gopakumara arrived to Vaikuntha, he wanted to hug Lord Vishnu. He was running towards Lord Vishnu and trying to hug him because he has this, Sakhya Bhav in his heart. And the guards stopped him. He said, no, you can't hug Vishnu. It's Vaikuntha. He's the king. Everyone bows down to Vishnu. And Gopakumar was, but he's my Lord, I want to hug him. And the guard said, no, you can't do that. And that's where Gopakumara comes back and then goes back to Goloka Vrindavan. And then he says Krishna is the best one. Why? Because you can reciprocate all the emotions with Krishna. Not that Vishnu is lower or anything, nothing like that. But you cannot express some emotions with Vishnu which you can express with Krishna. When the Dandakaranya Rishi says to Lord Ram, we want to be with you forever. And Lord Ram says, not in this birth. Next birth I will come as Krishna. This birth I am Maryada Purushottam. Then I will fulfill this emotion of Madhurya, which is in your heart. And he fulfilled that. All those rishis came as gopis. And in one Purana, they are named as Rishi Chari gopis. So there are multiple levels of gopis there. One of the gopis were, some devtas had become gopis, some rishis had become gopis. So they were Rishi Chari gopis. And Krishna could reciprocate with all of them. So this Soumya Rupa, this soft Rupa, where we can all have every single emotion exchange, this only exists in Krishna. And Arjun is saying, please get back to that form. Enough of Vishnu, enough of this Ananta Virat Rupa. Now, how Krishna responds? Now, 1152, basically Krishna is saying the rarity of his form. Sudurdarsham idam rupam drastvan asiyan mama deva api asya rupasya nityam darshan kankshanaha. So what's the theme, thrust of this verse? Anyone can say? I'll just open the light.
This is the very confidential form, the two-handed form, and it's very hard to see. And it's even the demigods are vying to see this type of form.
But this is actually mentioned for the Virat Rupa, not for two-handed form. So basically, Krishna is making a sarcastic comment on Arjuna and saying that you only asked for this form and I showed it to you. And now you are requesting it to go back. And he's saying, actually, this is very rare form, the rarity of the Virat Rupa. And then later on, he presents his two-handed form. Let's read these 4 verses. There's only 4 more. And he's saying, Naham Veden na tapasa na dane na chejaya shak eva vido destram destvan asi mam yatha. So mam yatha, as you are seeing me, they are not possible. Yes, Sakhand Rasa Prabhu.
Prabhuji, I had one question. When we are describing the universal form of the Lord, we always call it, it's a divine form, it's a temporary form.
Yes.
So can it all be, would it be wrong to say, I mean, I'm not sure about that. Would it be okay to say that it's a material form also, because it appears in it's a temporary form, and can it be also called a conceptual form?
No. So first point is right, Mataji. Can it be called a material form? Yes. Vishwanath Chakra Thakur in his commentary has clearly written this is a material form. So that's the first question. Second is, can it be a conceptual form? No. In Bhagavatam, second canto of Bhagavatam, I think second or third chapter, where Krishna is putting his Virat Rupa, in Srimad Bhagavatam, I'm talking second canto, that form where he says, the rivers are my vein, the mountains are my bone, and like that. He has different analogies mentioned there. And it's mentioned by Prabhupada in the purport there, that is a conceptualization form. There is no form of the Lord where mountain are the bone, but the concept is we consider this as a part and parcel of the body of Lord. That is called conceptualization. This particular form in Bhagavad Gita, which was revealed in front of Arjuna, is called revelation. Revelation means Lord is revealing himself in that particular form. It's a particular form in front of Arjuna. It's not a concept in our mind. So there's 2 different things. Revelation means that particular thing appears in front of you. It's a temporary, but it appears in front of you. Concept means it's just a concept. It's a concept in our mind. So there's 2 different things. So revelation is called revelation. That is called conceptualization in Bhagavatam. Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhu. And the other question was, maybe we are going to come to that. There was initially Arjuna, when like in the previously, he was always jesting with Krishna, and also he had a relationship of a friendship, Sakhya Rasa. But then when he sees the universal form, he is astonished, he's bewildered, he's scared. He goes through so many emotions. So after that, he also apologizes. He asks for forgiveness. So in that case, when he goes through these emotions, does he come to the Dasya Rasa? Like, because he's looking at the universal form with awe and reverence.
Yes.
So can we call it, it's a Dasya Ras at that point?
Okay, yeah, I'll explain that. So Bhagavatam explains Krishna has two types of associates. One is called Braj Parikar, another is called Dwarka Parikar. I'm not sure whether we have discussed that in the class. Braj Parikar, who never changes their mood. Example, Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda Maya. They always see Krishna as their son, no matter which Virat Rupa Krishna shows. He shows Brahmand Rupa in his mouth. He lifts Govardhan. It doesn't matter. Yashoda Maya always thinking, Narayan inside the body of my Lalla, my baby, is doing all. My Lalla is my Lalla. My boy is my boy. It's just, 5-year-old, just a chore. He speaks lies. He doesn't know how to behave with others. He's a black boy. He has no sense of many things and all those. That's my. But Narayan inside the body is making him do all those things. But it's not my Lalla. Huh? So they are called Braj Parikar. Their emotional exchange with Krishna, say in Vatsalya, never changes. Radharani's exchange with Krishna never changes. Huh? You lift Govardhan and someone say Krishna was lifting Govardhan. What Lalita is saying? Acha, Krishna ne uthaya hai. So Radharani ki kripa se uth gaya. Acha. And then the Sakhas of Krishna say, what Radharani ki kripa? It was Krishna. And Lalita says, Radharani was looking at Krishna and giving the strength to Krishna. Oh my God. And Madhumangal is saying, Acha, na Radha na Krishna, maine uthaya hai. I have lifted the Govardhan. Why? I was chanting the mantra. I'm a Brahman boy. I was chanting the mantra constantly. So everyone has their own rasa, but their rasa never changes. Huh? They're never. But in Dwarka Parikar, what happens? The point you mentioned, Mataji, rasa changes sometimes. Kunti Maharani, for example, first canto Bhagavatam, 8th chapter, where she's doing the prayers. Now she has actually Vatsalya Bhav for Krishna. But in those prayers, you will see there's a Dasya coming. Huh? But the predominant rasa in Arjun is Sakhya, Kunti is Vatsalya. But sometimes by seeing the Aishwarya of Krishna, their Vatsalya or their Sakhya comes down. And that's why they are categorized as Dwarka Parikar. Is it clear? But you cannot say they're constantly in that mood, they come back. So Arjun is also coming back and saying, because in these three relationships, people forgive, you also forgive me, because I have a prem relationship. I have loving relationship with you. Huh? So it comes and goes as well. But in Braj Parikar, it constantly stays at the same level. Huh? And that's the difference. Is that okay?
So predominantly he is in Sakhya Rasa,
Sakhya,
but
yes.
at that point of time, he does come down to Dasya.
Yes, because he has seen the Aishwarya of the Lord.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Aishwarya has impacted his exchange of emotions. Huh? Okay, Jai Dharma Prabhuji.
Sorry, Prabhu, I missed one point. I think material form, I understood what you mentioned around the Virat Rupa.
Yes.
But temporary is that, because only that Arjuna has been given the Divya Chakshu, then he was able to see.
Yes.
But he still like eternally has that form as well, right? I mean to say, he's still considered as an expansion. Like
No,
everybody.
Prabhupada writes very clearly, there's no eternal form in Vaikuntha Loka like Virata Rupa. There is no form like that. It's very clearly mentioned. So it was a revelation at that point in time. Real, that point in time, yes, it came and it disappeared. But there's no such form in Vaikuntha or Golok Vrindavan like that. Like Nrsimhadev, for example, it exists in Vaikuntha. Narayan, it exists in Vaikuntha. Krishna exists, Lord Ram exists, Matsya Avatar exists, Kurma Avatar exists. They have their own loka and they have their own devotees. There's no loka for Virata Rupa. There's no devotees of Virata Rupa. Huh? That's what's called
But when
revelation.
he was present in the material world,
It
that
was
time
present?
he
Yes.
has always had that potency.
Yes,
Can
so
we
Krishna has this potency. Through the potency, he showed a particular form in a particular time to a particular person.
Thank
you. Yeah. Okay. To our last two verses from this, which is very, very important. Rupa Prabhu, I'm not sure whether it's in your list, but it's definitely important verse 1154.
Oh, no verses from chapter 11 are there.
Hare Krishna. In our Bhakti Shastri, these were there. Anyway, you are exempted, so you are happy. I'm happy because you are happy. Bhaktya tu ananya shakya aham e vidhorjuna gyatum drashtum cha tatvena praveshtum cha parantapa. So, can anyone expand on first two lines who have not participated as yet, preferably? I'm looking Divya Mataji, if you want to say something.
Hi, Prabhu, I'll pass. I'm only listening today. Please,
No
Prabhu.
problem.
Sorry.
Too much tension of the exam, huh?
Yes, Prabhu, बहुत है.
There should not be any tension. Shraddha Mata, would you like to say a few words on this? मुझे क्यों पूछा? माता जी की आंखों से लग रहा है.
You know already.
Still, I'm asking Mother. You can expand on these two lines as per your understanding. Whatever little bit you want to, Mataji.
Okay, so 54, my dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into the mysteries of my understanding. So Krishna cannot be understood by mental speculation. It's just saying here. So one should take personal training under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master to understand Krishna. Otherwise, it is.
Can I, Hare Krishna Mata? Very good point which you have mentioned. I just want to expand on that before we go to the next one, because I wanted to discuss that, and thank you for reminding me. In the 53 verse, which is, thank you, Shraddha Mataji, I forgot that. You reminded. This 53 verse, just principle wise, you don't have to cram this verse. Naham vede na tapsa na dani na cheje. We discussed 4 examples. The Krishna's form cannot be achieved by only Vedadhyan, like studying the Vedas, just the austerity, just the dan, giving charity, and by worshipping Krishna. What are the 4 examples? Anyone can say? Mohit Prabhu knows everything. Okay, tell one example, Mohit Prabhuji, which we have discussed in the class.
Oh, for example, for not understanding Krishna via Vedas or
just by Vedadhyan, you cannot understand Krishna. Any examples? Okay, any example you can give.
When they are
Say again.
Look after Krishna and Balaram. When they went for asking for some food to the Brahman, they say, we don't know. They didn't give anything to them, but Yajnapatni, they give them all the food.
Yeah. So which category it is, Prabhuji?
Vedas, because they are Vedas, but they have no understanding about Krishna supremacy, and
I
they
think
just
the last one.
Worshipping, yeah.
So they were worshipping Krishna.
Keshav Kashmiri.
Thank you, Vijay Gopi Mata. Keshav Kashmiri, Vedair. Tapasa?
Demons.
Hiranyakashipu, demons. Yep. Any positive examples as well? Positive examples. So Hiranyakashipu definitely clear cut. Any other positive examples he did? Ravan. Rasan Prabhuji, sorry, you said Ravan? Saubhari Muni Tapasya. Wow. Okay, good. I was thinking about milk digging brahmachari Chaitanya Charitamrita. Huh? He was he wanted to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Kirtan Leela, and he was not allowed. Anyway, there are multiple examples possible. Danena, anyone remember?
Karna.
Thank you.
Karna. Amrish Maharaj or
Amrish Maharaj? Someone said? Priya Mataji, did you mention Amrish Maharaj? Sorry.
Durvasa Muni?
Durvasa Muni Dan. He only gave curse Dan. No other Dan he
I
gives.
mean, like, cannot understand because he was like, he couldn't understand Krishna, but he was like a scholarly person.
Okay. From that perspective, saying okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, I thought example of Dan.
There was another king who gave a cow, Prabhu, and then he had problems because of this. I don't remember his name.
Yeah, his name was Nrag Maharaj. Nrag Maharaj, he gave cows, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's a different sort of example, but I think Karna example fits very well. He was giving lot of dan and he gave his kavach and kundala as well, but he could not understand Krishna. Rupam Prabhuji.
We just answered that. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's get back to our original discussion. This is important so that now we as aspiring devotees don't do that, but many times these examples come. I'm doing a lot of puja, I'm doing a lot of Vedadhyan, and in India you go there, a lot of pandits have a lot of knowledge. Honestly, they have a lot of knowledge, but they're still eating onion, garlic, and they have other things in their life as well. And they say it doesn't matter. No, it does matter. Krishna is saying that just by Vedadhyan you cannot understand Krishna. You're big Pandit and Pujari. In one sense, if you have not understood Krishna, it's all Shama eva hi kevalam. It's useless labor only. Shraddha
Prabhu,
Mataji.
one second, Prabhu, on the same thing.
Sure.
A similar thing is also said for the universal form. You know, the
Yes.
same thing, similar
Yes.
thing, verse is also saying. So what is
Yes.
the difference between that?
Yeah, so that is said from the perspective of the rarity of the universal form, which is mentioned in 51st verse as well, or 52 verse, 52nd verse. So, my dear Arjuna, this form of mind, as you are saying, is very difficult to behold. Even demigods are ever seeking opportunity. So, this was related to universal form. Rupa, for example, just by doing Vedadhyan, you cannot demand Krishna.
Hare
But
Krishna, Prabhu. Also, one more thing,
verse
your voice is not, we are not hearing clearly, Prabhu.
Yeah. It's cracking in between.
Okay, I'm also hearing the same cracking.
Hare Krishna, is it better?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu, now better.
Yes, Prabhu, much better.
Now, is it still okay or not okay?
Previous one was better. Prabhu.
Previous one was better.
Yeah.
This one is okay, Prabhu. It is still okay.
Previous was clear.
Previous
More
was
clear.
clear.
Give me 1 second.
This one is good.
It's still good, Prabhu.
I haven't changed anything from my side. It's still okay.
Can you plug in the headphones? Probably, I think. Are you unplugging the
I am
headphones?
actually plugged in. When I unplug, you guys can hear. I can't. When I plug in, and I haven't changed anything in last 1 hour or so. I'm still exactly the same, but you can't hear, right?
No, we can hear, Prabhu.
Again.
Now is it okay? Okay.
It's just you've given the taste of the clearer sound now. That's why people are saying.
Acha. But somehow or other, yeah, my laptop sound delivery is not so good, so I have to use the headphone these days. It's aging like me. Laptop is aging.
Is maybe probably lost some microphone is on. If it's mute, it will be more clear, I think.
I think if everyone else can go on mute, if you're not speaking, that will help. Thank you, Vinay. Okay, now it's better, huh? Pin drop silence. Okay, Sakhi Radhika Mataji.
Prabhuji, in 11.53, I was just thinking, please correct me if I'm wrong. ये दानी में जो Karan का example है, can we also have like I was thinking even Bali Maharaj example is also there. He was a big time. He was giving so much of dan, but only when he surrendered himself he could attain the Lord.
Bali Maharaj is a very actually complex case study. Again, I usually don't like to limit the people in certain boxes because that's limiting them unless it's super clear. Like someone said Hiranyakashipu for tapasa. Perfect example. There's no complexity there, huh? Because limiting with our understanding. I heard about it, Mataji. I'm just on Raja Harishchandra. I'm not quoting that example. It's a very difficult to say that. Huh? I'm not saying it's incorrect or correct because it's difficult. It's like in a boundary.
Yeah, there are other aspects to it. Yeah,
other aspects to it as well. Huh? So one more example comes to my mind. What was his name? That Rishi who gave his body, Dadichi Rishi. Dadichi Rishi gave the body. So if you look at from that example perspective, he gave to demigods, but actually he gave to Krishna. If you read Srimad Bhagavatam, actually he gave his body to Krishna. And that's why his dhan became eternal. Eternal.
In the Vatrasura pastime, right?
Yes. Dadichi Rishi pastime, Vatrasura pastime, yes. Okay, so let's move forward. Shraddha Mataji, thank you for giving us the points to expand the discussion.
So, can we? So, is that a positive example for penances, the Gichi Rishi?
Definitely possible, but that's for Krishna. So we're not taking from this verse perspective, but it's a positive. That tapasya is the best tapasya, which you gave your body for Krishna.
Yeah.
So it is definitely that positive example, but not for that verse.
Bali Maharaj is also the positive. No. Bali Maharaj.
That's what someone else was saying.
No, okay, well, Mr.
Yeah. But it's relating to Krishna. As soon as Krishna comes in picture, step back. because it becomes Bali Maharaj was a devotee actually in the beginning as well. But it says he was not a pure devotee. By that example, he became a pure devotee. And there are references in Bhagavatam. I'm talking before this Leela. So putting Bali Maharaj as a example here, my understanding may be not appropriate, because he was a devotee. You read Bhagavatam and there's verses between Shukracharya and Bali before this pastime, not in this pastime, before. That shows actually Bali was already a devotee. He was already a devotee. But as I said, his devotion enhanced to the pinnacle after his surrender to the Supreme Lord. Like we're all sort of devotees, but some incident may take place in our life which makes us a purer devotee. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's what Prabhu it says, that Lord's in the 11.53 it is said, no, that not by undergoing serious penances, not by charity, not by worship, all of that. It is not by these means that one can see me as I am. So that's why it was like I had this doubt that yes, only by surrender, like he was giving the highest of charity, but when he gave his head, he was like, it supports the answer. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but when he was giving charity, he was still in a mindset of
Devotee.
devotion.
Okay.
Not a pure devotee, as I said.
Yeah.
Still a mindset of a devotee. Like we have to categorize ourselves, each other. We say, devotee hai ki not? हम लोग कभी-कभी कहते हैं ना, what the devotees? That's a big word. But at the same time, yeah, Prabhupada accepted that. All of the ISKCON people, Prabhupada says is pure devotees. Prabhupada said that. And Bhanu Maharaj said, green mango versus a ripe mango. We're all green mangoes as per definition. I'm not a mango, definitely. I'm a rotten one. Anyway, Shraddha Mataji will come back to you. We'll just continue. This one is a very important verse. Many times it's been misunderstood as well. We can just talk a few minutes on this verse.
Yes, Prabhu. So as far as I remember, it's like so one cannot understand Krishna. Actually, it's a waste of time to understand Krishna on the basis of mental speculation or speculative process. So one should have have a personal training and have a under a bona fide spiritual master. Otherwise, it is almost impossible to even begin to understand about Krishna.
Yep.
And then. So who can learn about him? Basically, who can, like people who are actually devotees who are following rules and regulations, like regulative principles, which Prabhupada has given us, basic. And then, so because Prabhupada has given it to us, so it is authoritative and is already describing the scriptures. And then people who are performing penances like fasting on Janmashtami or Ekadashi. So everything is because under the guidance of bona fide spiritual master. And then charity, so best charity would be the love of God. What is we thought during all this, that's the philosophy of ISKCON. That's what we have learned from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then one more point will be deity worship in the temples, so especially for beginners. So those kind of things, if a person is doing under spiritual guide, like bona fide from the guru, then he can try to understand Krishna, not fully, but again, because in one of your lectures you said we can understand Krishna according to our capacity. So if there is 10-liter capacity, we'll be able to understand.
Yes.
10
Yes.
So yeah, and then so all forms are coming from Krishna. So even in the Vedas, Krishna is the Vedanta Sutra. So everything whichever we want to understand from Vedas, that is basically we are already if you try to go into Krishna, like when you're going to Krishna consciousness, you will be able to understand all those things, because just for example, that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and he's Satchidanand, like his qualities, and then whatever understanding he applies, like through Vedas we try to understand, we can understand here also.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then that was all about. I don't remember.
Thank you, Mataji. Nice summary. I'll just pick up some points in the sense with it. Bhaktya tu ananya shakya. So basically, what he's saying, shakya, you'll become eligible through what? Ananya bhakti. So ananya bhakti or exclusive devotion to Krishna is the only way to understand him as he is. So Ananya Bhakti, as Shraddha Mataji was giving many examples, Prabhupada is teaching us through all those various ways to improve our Ananya Bhakti for Krishna. In the second line, which is sometimes misunderstood, Gyatum drashtum cha tatvena praveshtum cha parantapa. So which is the misunderstood word here? I'm sure everyone.
Praveshtum.
Praveshtum. So what does praveshtum means? Pravesh kar jate hain, huh? They enter. So what does Mayavadi say that? They enter into Krishna.
Yeah.
Ho gaya Brahmavad. But
Merging.
what is the merging ho gaya, huh? What's the actual understanding, Rupam Prabhuji?
It's related to the mysteries of Krishna's Leela. So getting.
So if we just pick up Prabhuji Sanskrit word first, is tatvena praveshtum. Pravesh karte hain. Kaha? Tattva mein. Not Krishna mein. Tattva means principle. Yeah. So the correct word is not just praveshtum, it's tatvena praveshtum. So basically, actually, Krishna is responding it. They are just misinterpreting the word. So it's tatvena praveshtum. You enter into what? You understand Krishna's tattva. Janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tattvataha. So tattva mein enter hote hain, not Krishna ki body mein enter. Some son says to his father, Father, I'm sorry I misunderstood you for last 30 years, but now I really understand you. I want to get back to you. Does he saying, Father, I want to get inside your tummy, or mother inside your tummy? Not saying that. Getting back to the father means, now I really understand your intention and I'm aligned with it, and I want to be with you and serve you like that, as you would like me to serve. Not that, I want to enter into your tummy. Mother, I want to enter into your tummy. No, no one does that. And it's very sort of, vague concept. Anyway, Gyatum. So first step will be Gyatum. So what are we doing right now? We are into actually this step. Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela. So we enter into Krishna through what? Nama. So right now we are trying to read some authoritative literature given by authorities, and we are trying to understand it a bit. So Gyatum. And Drashtam means we'll have darshan of Krishna. And then Tatvena Praveshtum, and we understand fully Krishna. What is this Krishna? What is Jiva? What's the relationship between Krishna and Jiva? And then when we fully understand it, then we can be with Krishna. Until that time, we cannot be with Krishna, like face to face at least. Okay, very good. And the last verse which Prabhupada mentions, this is again one way of saying the summary verse of Bhagavad Gita. Very, very important verse. Prabhupada loved this verse, and there's lots of commentaries on this verse. Let's see who hasn't done it yet. Prasannatma Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. He's been listening. Maybe you can say a few words, Prabhuji, for the first line, if you would like to.
Good.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Mat karma, mat parama. Okay, mat karma. So mat karma means do engage in devotional service.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So Krishna is clearly saying mat karma, not saying mat karo, not saying do not do it. Mat karma means mera karma. So what does it refer to? What I say, you do that. Act according to me. What I say. I say means Krishna is saying. What I say, you do that. Thank you, Prabhuji. Next one is mat parmo. What does mat parmo mean?
Mat paramo. Paramo means superior, transcendental.
Goal.
Parama. Okay.
So parama goal. So we all, I think we have discussed about it. We all have some immediate goals. We have some medium-term goal, and we have long-term goal, and we have ultimate goal. So we may have to take our kid to a swimming class or something. That's fine. This is your immediate goal of life. You have to fix your tap in the bathroom and all those. That's perfectly fine. And you have some medium-term goal. Jaldi se mortgage chuka le, then I can go to Vrindavan, fill up all your mortgage, whatever it is. That's your medium-term goal. What's the ultimate goal? Every moment we want to be a devotee. That's our ultimate goal. And it says our medium-term, long-term, this term, that term should not have a head-to-head conflict with our ultimate goal. Sometimes you may have to, chant certain rounds later in the night because your day was extremely busy, your child is sick or something like that. Totally understood. There's no problem with that. But it's not, it's okay not to chant because I'm sick or my child is sick. Not really, unless you're in super emergency in the hospital. No, you have to chant your rounds. So Otherwise, mind will produce 100 other excuses tomorrow. So as best as possible, we do these things, maybe as a ritual to start with. And as Radhanath Maharaj said, quality will come slowly, and definitely quality is the most important, but we start with quantity and then slowly we move forward. So Mat Parmo, ultimate goal has to be Krishna, and sometimes there's a conflict between medium-term goal and ultimate goal. Whichever a person prefers to, you understand that's his consciousness. If many people prefer to choose to pursue their medium-term goal more than the ultimate goal, Prabhu, आजकल job में बहुत busy हैं, we are very busy in job. Life is very busy, so I cannot come to temple. Sorry, I'm not able to do seva, this and that. So many excuses. Sorry to say, they are excuses. For some time, genuine reasons, we all have to skip few things. That's totally understood. But if it is happening on a regular basis, that means this person has chosen his medium-term goal more than his long-term goal. So then you know what sort of mode he is situated is in, mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance. And many times you see many devotees confront so many difficult situations in their life, but they never compromise with their ultimate goal. And you can see that. And Radhanath Maharaj, sorry, I'm seeing this picture, so many examples coming of Radhanath Maharaj. He is saying the consistency and the commitment in the service will prove, I'm paraphrasing the word, how sincere this devotee is. The consistency in his service and the commitment in his service, regardless of the external situation of his life, will sort of prove his situation, how sincere he or she is in his devotional life. So that's very important, very, very nice. When unfavorable situation come, how do you deal with Krishna? That's our test. Favorable, सब कुछ अच्छे भक्त लगते हैं. When everything is going on nice in our life, we all are great devotees. Great kanthi, great mala, great tilak, everything is good. When the bad comes in our life, are we still choosing Krishna on a day-to-day basis? That's what Maharaj said. That will prove the sincerity. So we have to prove that sincerity, and life offers many such opportunities. Many such opportunities. So we have to be ready. Thank you, Prasanatma Prabhu. Mad Bhakta Sangvarjita. Who will say these two words? Oh, you want to say it, Prasanatma Prabhu? Yeah?
No, it's okay, bro. Madbhakta means again engage in devotional service, like
yeah. So different sadhana which we are doing.
Yeah.
Different
Like,
limbs
yeah.
of sadhana. Yeah.
nine limbs of bhakti.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
And Sangha Varjita means avoiding non-devotees association.
Yes. So that's the most important. Avaishnav Tyag. So whoever is not a devotee, we should not closely associate with them. We may have to work with them. That's fine. But closely association should only be done with sincere devotees. We'll read about it in Nectar of Instruction. Nirvaira Sarvabhuteshu, very clear.
It should be non-envious to all living.
Non-envious. Yasama iti Pandava. If you are like that, you will come back to me. Prabhupada, he certainly comes back to me. Thank you, Prasanatma Prabhu. Now let's do quick revision of chapter 12. It's a short chapter. Anyone remembers the question of Arjun in the beginning of this chapter?
Who is superior, whether the persons who are
approaching
the impersonalists or the personal form who like devotees?
Yes, thank you, Prabhu. That's the question Arjun asked. And where does this question come from? Can anyone pick up the root in Bhagavad Gita of this question? Manmohan Prabhuji, I could ask you.
Sorry, Prabhu, I missed the question.
Okay. What is the root of Arjuna's this question in 12.1? Where does it come from? Where does this theme come from in Bhagavad Gita? So
Prabhu, is it from 9.15 when the point about Ekatvayana is talked about?
Thank you, Anjala Samata ji. ये सारे कैरिवल वाले बहुत पढ़ाई लिखाई करते हैं उस साइड वाले. Then includes Manmohan Prabhu suburb as well. What is it? Bella Vista, if I'm not wrong? You are in Bella Vista? Okay. Yes. But I mean all of that suburb. So yes, thank you, Mother. 9.15. Which all themes 9.15 has? That Manmohan Prabhu can say. Sorry, छोड़ने का नहीं.
Sorry, Prabhu.
9.15 has 3 verses. 3 themes, I mean 3 themes. Which are the 3 themes in 9.15?
Sorry, Prabhu, I can't remember exactly.
No problem. Mataji can help.
Ekatvayana.
बहुत simple. Ujjwala sa Mataji, wait a second. Let's finish. We are trying as a group. We are learning. Some people may know, some people may not know. That's fine. I also don't know. I also read. Open 9:15, that's fine. And I can open on the screen. You don't have to cram everything. As far as Rupam Prabhu is happy with those 17 verses, we are done with the exam. Okay, there's a verse here, Manmohan Prabhuji or Mataji. There are 3 themes given in this verse. My question is, which theme is being picked in 12.1? So Jnana Yajnena Chapi Anye Nijanto Mam Upasate Ekatvena Prathaktvena Bahuda Vishwato Mukham. So there are 3 themes given, Prabhuji, here. Ekatvena means Ekatva, monastic philosophy. Mayavadi can say, Brahmavadi can say. Prathaktena Bahuda, this is demigod worship. So Prathak means alag alag. Bahuda means bahut sare. So the Brahman has been divided into different things, you can say. There are different demigods who are in charge of different universal arrangements. So some people go to them. And some Vishwato Mukham. So Vishwato Mukham, we are discussing in chapter 11, which is the Virat Rupa of Krishna. Prathakta in Bahuda, demigod worship, is mentioned in 9th chapter as well as in the 7th chapter. Ekatvain has not been touched as yet. So this is where Arjun is speaking this theme in 12.1. That's the relation. Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. So clear question of Arjun is very clear question. Who is better? If you pick up the Sanskrit words, Tesham ke yog vittamaha. Out of those two, is not asking any like unclear question, very, very clear question. Tesham ke yog vittamaha. So what are the 2 categories? Bhaktas tvam paripasate. Ye chapi aksharam avyaktam. So aksharam avyaktam is clearly for Brahmavad. Bhaktas refers to bhakti. So there are 2 categories. Tesham ke yoga vittama. So simple question. Arjun is asking very clear question for all of us. And then Krishna gives direct answer. Krishna also does not hesitate to give a direct answer. I like actually this 12.1 and 12.2. Now someone can help me in understanding 12.2. Anyone? Jav Dharma Prabhu is ready, already unmuted to say.
He's telling Prabhu, Lord is explaining that the devotees who approach the Lord or who serve the Lord on the personal form and always engage in the devotional service, Lord considers them to be superior to the Brahmavadis or the people who are meditating on the impersonal aspect of the Lord.
Thank you, Prabhu. So, Prabhu, you said the word superior. Is that the correct word? Tanya Mataji? Superior is the correct word?
Not sure, Prabhuji.
More dear, more dear.
No, that's not the correct word. I'm sorry. Mohit Prabhu.
Sorry, sir. Prabhuji, word for?
He said, those are, Jayadhara, I know you know the answer. I just want to, do a little more churning here, so we'll remember for the rest of our life. So, Prabhuji said, Jayadhara Prabhu, those are superior than Brahmavadis. But what I'm saying, superior, is it the correct word? Yes or no? If no, what's the correct word? It's
Is
in
that
Most perfect.
perfect?
Most perfect. What's the Sanskrit word for that?
Yukta tamaha.
Tama. Tama is the superlative degree. What's the comparative degree? If I had to say this in a comparative degree, what I will say? Yukta tara. Okay, so one is yukta, yukta tara, yukta tama. So you can remember from Srimati Radharani, Priya, Priyatara, Priyatama. So Tama is the superlative degree, and that's why Prabhupada translates beautifully, most perfect. He's not just saying superior. He's saying, isse aage kuch nahi. There's nothing beyond it. Natta partaram na anyat. There's nothing beyond to it. Because when he's saying superlative degree, this is the best. So it's not better. It's not better. It is the best given in Sanskrit word, Tama. Agar tara hota, if there was a word tara, yukta tara, then you can say, as Jayadharan Prabhuji was saying, you are superior. We are saying, Krishna is saying, yukta tama. So nothing beyond to it. Krishna very clearly mentioned that yukta tama. So we can remember this, yukta, yukta tara, yukta tama. And this is being used in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam very nicely. So wherever you see tama or tara, tara is a comparison between 2 things. And then you can say, okay, this thing is superior, A is superior than B. But here saying Tama, A is the best. B, C, D, E, F, G, H, whatever, A is the best. Huh? So we can remember that. And one of the most important thing in this verse, what is the most important thing in this verse? We said bhakti is the best. That's fine. What's the quality of that bhakti? Krishna mentioned
Shraddha.
Shraddha. So if you don't have Shraddha, you're doing the devotional service grudgingly, out of duty, out of some material desire. That's not Krishna is recommending here. Huh? So that's okay again to start with. Shraddhaya paryapetas. Huh? So word Shraddha is very, very important. And if you need more Shraddha, go to Shraddha Mataji, ask for blessing. Mata's name is Shraddha. So I'm sure she has a lot of Shraddha in Krishna. So Mataji, please bless us. So we get more Shraddha in our worship to Krishna. So Shraddha is the main thing. That means our faith in Krishna, in Guru, Sadhu, Shastra is very, very important. If our faith is not there, we are just doing, sab kar rahe hain, hum bhi karte hain. He has a Guru, I should also have a Guru. No, why you need Guru? Ask this question to yourself. Huh? Why I need to do Bhakti Shastri? Why I'm doing this study of Bhagavad Gita? When the why is clear, then the details will work out. Huh? So Krishna very clearly saying, do with faith. Huh? Devotion with faith. Thank you. Verse 3 and 4. I just want the theme. Don't go inside the verse. Just what's the theme? Anyone can say?
Those who worship unmanifested will also reach Krishna eventually and surrender.
Thank you, Prabhuji. And what's the obstacle there? Manmohan Prabhu, if you just want to continue within this verse, what's the obstacle? Krishna gives that as well. What is the, you can say, okay, what's the toughest thing in following that statement? Although the statement is true, what's the toughest thing which people struggle with? And Krishna gives that in the verse.
It's difficult to fix our mind on the unmanifested.
Yes, Prabhuji. And thoda aur. It's in the verse itself. You read the verse, answer is in the verse.
So the characteristics of impersonal conception are unmanifested beyond sense perception.
That's okay. So eight addresses are there, which is fine. I'm not asking that. Sure. What's the most difficult part in this verse to achieve the goal?
So difficult for any common man because much penance is involved before the ultimate realization and full surrender takes place.
Okay. As correct, Prabhuji, as a principle, if I read the verse, Sanya Indriya Gramam Sarvatra Sambuddhaya Te Prapnuhanti Mam Eva Sarva Bhuti Tirtha. Three qualities are given here. Huh? All Indriyas, the group of Indriyas has to be fully controlled. Sarvatra Sambuddhaya, equal vision everywhere. Sarvatra refers to everywhere. It refers to the place. And Sarvada refers to Kal. Huh? So the place and Kal. Huh? Sarva Bhut Hite Rataha. For all the living entities, what you should be doing? Sarva Bhut Hite. You should be engaged in the benefit of every single living entity with an equal vision, with fully controlled senses. Now, that is a very tough task, especially in Kali Yuga, if you're living in Sydney. Not easy. Huh? We all understand that. Huh? Now, Bhakti is the mark which we can practically adopt in our life while living in Sydney, having a job and family and all that. Huh? This is a difficult part, huh? Very, very difficult. And they will achieve me. How they will achieve me? Anyone remembers? We had discussed this as per His Holiness Radha Govinda Maharaj. They will achieve me after frustration in that marga. Then they will start going to ISKCON, start chanting Hare Krishna, engaged in Radha Gopinath Seva. Finally, they become devotee and reach back to Godhead. Huh? So now you can say one university which gives, I'm talking to Manmohan Prabhu, for example, medical certificates, right? So you want to become doctor, you have option in Toowoomba. Was it Toowoomba, Vijay Gopi Mataji, where your son went? Is it Toowoomba? Townsville, sorry. I was close. Townsville, Toowoomba, also. Townsville, huh? And there's another university in Melbourne. Both of these universities gives you a medical certificate, but in one university, if you take the admission, say this Brahmavadi, Melbourne University, for example, you take the admission, but the course is so tough, it's practically impossible to pass the exams. Manmohan Prabhu, you feel like that sometimes?
Yes, Prabhu.
Very tough to pass the exam, but not for Bhakti Shastri, right? I hope not. Last exam, everyone did very well. So you can say that university provides the certificate, but it's practically impossible to pass the exam and get the certificate. But we go to Townsville, this uni, that's approachable. वो हमारी वाली है. That's our level. खाते पीते आराम से, we can still study and achieve the desired outcome. So this is what it is. So Melbourne wale bhi, they'll go to Melbourne, they'll fail for 1 or 2 years, and then they'll take admission in Townsville. That's how we can understand. The mark is there. It's valid. It gives the certificate eventually, but it's practically not possible. Okay, thank you. 12.5. Anyone knows this verse? Is it in the list, Rupam Prabhu? Not sure. Chalega, chalega. You don't have to remember or look at the list, but it's a very important verse in my personal list at least. So this says 2 negative points regarding Mayavad. What are the 2 negative Sanskrit words for that?
Gatir Dukkham.
The Klesha and Dukkham.
Thank you. And it's as Dharma Prabhuji was saying, Gatir Dukkham. What does Gati mean?
The journey.
Destination.
Destination. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam eva kevalam, kalo nastev nastev, Gatir Annitha. Gati here refers to destination. So destination is what? Dukkha. So Krishna almost clearly saying, actually, the destination is Dukkha. Melbourne University. Very difficult. Very, very difficult. You're not able to go. Prabhu, I'm sorry, man. You didn't go to Melbourne University, right?
No, Prabhu.
You go to Newcastle.
I did undergrad from India, and then I did all my training here. Yeah.
In Newcastle, Prabhuji?
No, Prabhu, here in Nepean.
Okay, in Nepean. Okay, some other university. But I didn't want to offend anyone. Maybe Melbourne se aaya hu. I'm so from Melbourne. Anyway, so Krishna very clearly saying, Gatir Dukha. Klesho Dikha. So Marg mein, in the journey you have difficulty, in Gati, in destination you also have Dukha. Very clear explanation by Krishna. Okay, let's move forward. Yeah, this one, I love this verse 8, 9, and 10. Very important for sadhakas, may not be important for this MIHE sort of verse list. Very important, these things. 12.8. Who can tell me the theme? Just the theme.
It's part of the list.
Part of the list. Okay, thank you. Even if it was not, it's an important verse. So, what's the theme of this verse? Anyone can say?
Performing devotional service.
Yes, Prabhuji. What is this group of verses called? 8, 9, 10, and 11. Anyone remembers that?
Stages of devotion. Progressive stage of devotion.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So progress is here. So this is the lowermost stage or the topmost stage? 12.8.
Topmost.
Topmost. Why it's topmost? Why?
It's your mind.
Krishna is asking to surrender 2 things. What are the 2 things he's asking?
The mind and intelligence.
Mind and intelligence.
Mana and buddhi. Now we can give money to Krishna, we can give time to Krishna, we can give other skill set to Krishna, but giving mind to Krishna, that's difficult. And buddhi as well. So man and buddhi, very, very high standard. Now, if you cannot follow that, can you not become a devotee? There's no option for you. You can't get inside.
There is. Next verse about that.
Thank you.
Next.
And what's the next verse talks about?
Vaidhi Bhakti.
Thank you, Jamati Mataji. Vaidhi Bhakti. पूरा एकदम technical word लेके आ रहे हैं. Vaidhi Bhakti. अथ चित्तम समाधातुम न शक्नोसि मयि स्थिरम अभ्यास योगेन. Abhyasa. What are we doing right now?
Abhyas.
आप अभ्यास कर रहे हो, सब लोग थोड़ी कर रहे हैं. No, you also doing abhyas, Raganuga abhyas. There are some Raganuga devotees in this Zoom call. I am not. I'm a very, very low person. So, but Krishna says, even if you are a low person, there is a entrance there as well. You can enter into Krishna consciousness. So, as Mataji said, we do Vidhi Vidhan ka bhakti. So, most of us, at least I can say in general, not specifically, we are doing this one right now. We are doing some abhyas in our own situation, with our own capacity, with our own conditioning. We are doing some abhyas. So, this is very nice. Krishna accepts those. Now, third one, even if you can't do this abhyas, what Krishna recommends, anyone can say in words, work for him. Thank you. How many different types of work possible for him?
Direct and
Direct work.
Direct and indirect. What does direct and indirect mean? Any examples? Simple examples?
Direct is actually worshipping it, deities in the temple, etc. Indirect is actually working by some other means, like giving donation or physically working. Somebody gives a donation to build a temple or something like that.
Yeah, so not directly donation. So where indirect means he's not directly giving to Krishna, but he's giving somehow or other which reaches to Krishna. Like one example, we all working, and we give a part of our salary to Krishna consciousness. So, okay, our example cannot be fit here directly, but some other person who is not directly wants to support, but he still supports devotees. He still supports those projects where he himself or herself may not be a devotee or want to advance in devotion. One example given in Shastra is of if someone is doing a devotion and you appreciate that person, oh, you're doing fantastic job. I want to help you. So he wants to help the person, not Krishna. So he said, oh, Prabhuji, you don't have a car. I will drive you to the program. For example. So he loves this person and what he is doing, and he wants to help that person. But that's a service to Krishna. But this person will be getting a lift to go to a program where he's serving Krishna. So there are many indirect ways where people serve devotees, not wanting to serve Krishna directly, not that they are against Krishna, but they get involved into these services for the Vaishnavas, which is also very, very helpful.
Prabhu, sorry, I just remember once upon a time you gave us this example when Vaishashika Prabhu was distributing book, and then someone gave, he asked for a lighter, remember that?
Yes, yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
Please
And
tell,
then,
please tell.
oh, yeah, and so he did,
This person was smoking actually on the road.
Yeah, and he said, and he was asking, give me something like, and he said, I don't have anything, I will give you the lighter. So Vaishashika Prabhu used that lighter for doing puja.
Can I just add one thing on that?
Yes, yes,
Because
yes.
I heard that. So Vaishashika Prabhu was distributing books on the road somewhere in the world. And he saw this man, he was smoking cigarette. So he approached, as he does many times. He said, please take this Bhagavad Gita, like I don't want it. And finally, Prabhu convinced this person to take Bhagavad Gita, but he said, I have no money. So Prabhuji said, give me something. And he said, what do I give you? So Prabhuji actually said, give me the lighter. So he sort of asked, because he wanted some reciprocation, not in terms of only money. So person gave the lighter. And then devotees who were with Vaishashika Prabhu thinking in their mind, how Prabhu is going to use this cigarette lighter in anything with Krishna? And he came back home next day or next morning or something like that. He lit agarbatti, incense, through that lighter. So this is a, thank you, Jamati Mataji, indirect service to Krishna. And that's how Vaisheshika Prabhu, he's so expert in, attaching people in Krishna consciousness. Some Sukriti he got. Now, if we see a smoker or a drunkard, we'll never even approach that person. Ye kya dega? He's already in Tamoguna. That's what we think. But Prabhu has a different perception. So very expertly, he managed to bring this person's Agyat Sukriti. Very nice. Okay, let's move to our some key verses. I love this verse. This is also in my personal list if you want to add that. Beautiful verse. I'll not read all the qualities, just quickly go through. Adveshta, we all understand, no dvesha, sarvabhutanam. Again, not adveshta only to my country people. I am from India or Australia, America. So I am adveshta, but for American people. What about Iraq people? No, I'm dveshta for that. Krishna is very clear, Sarva Bhutanam, and not only to humans, all to animals as well. Maitra Karun Evcha, friendship and compassion. Nirmamo, no sense of proprietorship. It does not mean you cannot possess things. You can have the whole world, no problem with that. There are many rich devotees. Anyone remembers any rich devotees around the world, contemporary and in history? There are many.
The CEO of Ford, Prabhu, Ford.
Alfred Ford, Ambrish Prabhu, Prabhupada disciple. Anyone else remember?
George Harrison.
George Harrison, thank you. There are contemporary examples. In the past, we have Yudhishthira Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj. So Krishna's devotees doesn't have to be a pauper. That's not the definition. Nirankara, he has no false pride, and he is equipoised. Samduka Shami. Shami refers to he is very forgiving, very, very forgiving. Santushta Sattam Yogi, he is always Santushta, whatever Krishna gives, he does his hard work, whatever comes, he is Santushta, he is satisfied with that. Dhrad Nishchaya, he is Dhrad Nishchaya for what? Not in defeating others, and not in establishing his ego, like Durvasa Muni. He was also very Drad Nishchaya, but for what purpose? For an opposite purpose of Krishna consciousness. And Amrish Maharaj was also Drad Nishchaya. Very humbly he accepted. So we cannot say these materialistic people are not Drad Nishchaya. They are not very determined. They are actually very determined, more than us. If we get their determination in Krishna consciousness, we'll advance overnight. They work super hard, but they're working for a wrong cause. And we may be slow, working for a right cause. That's why it's very nice. Even to be a slow devotee, it's better to be a non-devotee. So Drad Nishchaya. Mai Arpit Manobuddhi, same thing, is resonating again in the previous verse. Mad Bhakta Samay Priya is very dear devotee to me.
Sorry, Prabhu, I
Yes,
have a question
Mataji.
here.
Yes, Mataji.
In the short answers, there's one question regarding this. Even while writing, I was not quite sure if that was the right answer that I wrote, but I just wanted to check with you. The question is, I just opened the
I'll
thing.
open the MIHE.
Yeah, it is there. Yeah. It says list in Sanskrit or English 5 qualities that endear a devotee to Krishna. And the verses are from 12.13 to 12.19.
Yes.
So what are the 5 qualities? I thought I got all the 5 qualities in 13 to 14 only. So I was not sure.
Yeah, so you can pick up any 5, Mataji.
Oh, any 5 is fine,
Any
not
5,
all
yeah.
of okay.
Yeah, because question clearly, and different devotees, I remember now, have written different qualities.
Okay.
Many of them have chosen, obviously, as you have done, probably from the first verse itself, which is valid, which is fine. Because if you see the series of verses here, sorry, I'll just go to the next verse, for example.
Yeah.
That's another quality. Yasman no dijte loko, lokan no dijte chaya, harsha marsha bhayodyagar, mukto yasa chame priya. So this is another few qualities mentioned in this verse. So that's absolutely fine. And everyone, as far as I remember, got full marks of that. But somewhere I've seen, repeating myself, I've seen just the words. I would expect explanation of one line or something of that word. Okay. This is quite clear. I will just move forward. Anapeksha Suchidaksha. So this word anapeksha is very important. Anyone remembers 2 meanings of anapeksha? Anapeksha.
No expectation.
Yes, Mataji, definitely. And that's the definitely correct answer. Dusra meaning, which is a little tough one.
Bro, this is the one who doesn't take any sides.
Thank you. And how do you expand that from the Sanskrit?
Okay, I'll have to read.
How do you etymologically attain that meaning? Anapeksha. So paksha means side. Paksha. Pakshapat is the Hindi word, na? Pakshapat. Paksha. Ab is paksh mein, us paksh mein. You are in this party or that party, right? Anapeksha means no paksha, neutral. So there are 2 meanings. Very easy to understand actually. So one is anapeksha, this no expectation.
No favorism, is it like that?
Yes. So I don't support like Janata Party or Bharatiya Janata, whatever it is, different name, right? I'm neutral. I'm neutral. Prabhupada writes that actually, neutral. Devotee, my devotee is not dependent on the ordinary course of activities. So they not have so many expectations. They know this material world is designed like that. And why we get frustrated so much? Because many times, if not all the time, we have so much expectation. I think Gaurgopal Prabhu or Gauranga Prabhu was saying, we should have realistic expectation from the world. Many times we have unrealistic expectation. That's why we get frustrated. So we cannot have no expectation. That's not possible. We are humans. We have emotions, but have realistic expectation. And that's where the definition vary and the disagreement come, because everyone's expectation from each other is different. So if we can sort of reduce that, make it more realistic, it says there will be more sweet memories rather than other ones. Okay, let's move forward. Same thing. This is also very nice. Again, in your personal list, you can add that. Man, Apman, Sita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukha. Anyone remembers these examples? It may be a repeat, but it's good for us because we deal with these 6 situations probably on a daily basis. Man, Apman, Sita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukha. Which levels they are in philosophy wise and the example from Shastra. It's not a Bhakti Shastri exam question, it's just a discussion.
Dukha is at the physical level.
Okay,
And man apman is, I think, at the ego level.
thank you. Sita Ushna.
Shitoshna is, I think,
Sita Ushna is a physical level, Sukha Dukha is on mental level, Man Apman is on egoistic level. Now, next question related to the same thing. Ninda and Stuti, Man and Apman. What's the difference?
Man and apman is what we feel. Ninda and stuti is what others say about you.
So if someone may criticize me, I can still feel man in that. As I gave the Narendra Prabhu example, if someone criticizing, you have, bad quality number 1, bad quality number 2, bad quality number 3. And Narendra Prabhu response was, thank you, Prabhuji, you only mentioned 3 bad qualities. I have 50 more. So he felt actually man in that statement. Now I may feel apaman. Arey, you are mentioning A1, A2, A3. I don't have A1, A2 or A3. I may say like that. I may have a lot of them, but I may say like that. So man apman is what we feel. So many times we struggle not with ninda stuti, we struggle with man apman. So ninda stuti, we have no control. Can you control who will do your ninda, who will do your stuti? We have no control. People will get upset at you at some point or other. Huh? You will get some criticism, some misunderstanding. You have no control, but what you feel, you can control. Huh? You can control, and there's lots of explanation of how to sort of reduce this man apman feeling. But the point is, we can control man apman. We have no control in the stuti, so we can just work on man and apman. And he's tulya and stuti. We should not feel puffed up. Aha, everyone is clapping on me, everyone is praising me. Huh? So we should not become puffed up. Not very conducive for our devotional life. Santushto yeni kinchit. Whatever comes, example comes to my mind. Sudama. Sudama was santushto yeni. Yen ken mane kisi bhi prakar se. Somehow or other, he did not have a reason to complain to Krishna. Huh? And somehow or other, we always have reason to complain to Krishna. Krishna, everything is fine, but this one, but this one, but this one. No, it says yen ken. Yen ken means somehow or other you should remove all the excuses from life. It's very difficult. I'm just speaking, reading the verse, not that I have any realization, but the point is very nice. Huh? Remove all the excuses to complain to Krishna. It says, no, if you have Shraddha, then there is no Shikayat. If you have Shikayat, that means you have no Shraddha. Huh? If you have faith in Krishna, you will not complain to Krishna. If you're complaining to Krishna, that means the faith is not so strong. That's a big statement, but we can appreciate the statement. Okay, last verse and we'll stop. Yetu dharmamtam idam yatha uktam paripaste shaddhana mat paramam bhaktaste ativa me priyaha. So whoever follows these qualities which Krishna has mentioned with Shraddha, mat parama, make myself the supreme goal. Ativa priya. Ativ means super duper. Krishna like super loves them. So Krishna loves all the kids. Even if they are atheists, Krishna loves them, but Krishna is saying, Ativa me priya. So if you want to become very dear to Krishna, you should try to inculcate those qualities consciously in conjunction with bhakti, not independently. Now, if I'm independently very compassionate, will it work? Will Krishna like it? Any examples of an independent, compassionate person, but not a bhakta? And the compassion ruined him. This is called misplaced compassion. From Shastra, you can pick up. Bharat Maharaj, very compassionate, huh? Very compassionate to that baby deer. He was compassionate, there was no doubt. Did he do the wrong thing? No, actually, he didn't do the wrong thing. He did the right thing at that stage, at least. But because it was not combined with bhakti, actually, he ruined, huh? Externally, at least, right? So, so Maitri, Karun, whatever qualities we have read, Advaita, that has to be inculcated with our devotional qualities, and then they will give the supreme good result. Okay, I'll stop here. It's 5:59. Any quick questions or comments before we meet each other on the exam day? And anyway, you can call me or set a time, and we can always discuss if you need more time. No problem. All happy? No one is in tension. Please take it. Don't take any tension. Life already has so many other. For example,
sorry, what time is the exam?
2 to 5, Prabhu. 2 to 5. Please arrive by 1:45 because you have to plug in your laptop, get your seat and your Vyasasan in the garland room. And if you come early, you get a better seat like we do in India. So please arrive early as much as possible. And yeah, just take your seat, take a glass of water and fresh yourself. Take nice prashadam before coming. Then after class, we'll have another feast by Radha Gopinathji. Okay. I hope you have no questions, but if you have, please call me.
Prabhu, are you going to send us the short questions that we have you have corrected before the exam?
Yes, but I'll not disclose the marks. I'll not disclose the marks. I may have, so I have not written my comments in each and every single question. As you can imagine, there's like 1,000 questions there, right? So, but I have written some notes on the bottom if there is something worth noting. So as I'm saying again, I can't like comment on each question and say, you know, this is wrong, this is right. So if there's no comments on the bottom of your copies, that means you're sort of okay. Huh? So you can take that as a standard. You see a note, and a note I've written a general note. I have not written, oh, question 3, that was wrong. Question 4, that was wrong. I'll be sitting here for next 3 months starting the comments. But most of you have done wonderful. Some of you, again, a request. We are all learning. I'm also learning. Just write on your own. That's my humble request to all of you. It's not very conducive for our personal advancement if you write from somewhere else. That's the only general comment I can give. And many of you have literally written very well. Simple, but very good. Keep it up. Okay, let's stop here. And we'll see you all next week, 30th of July in Radha Gopinath Temple. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.
Jai.
Guru
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Gaur Premanande.
Hare
Shastri devotees ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.